Welcome to Occasionally Awesome. I'm Nick Youssef.
I'm Kevin Christy.
Today we are doing our intro with our guests.
Hi, my name is Jayson Thibault.
Yeah.
This is an intro.
See how much easier it is when they're just here?
Yeah.
We're going to have to be like, so what should we say on their behalf?
Yeah.
Let's plug some stuff first. Do you have anything coming up?
Me? Nope. Just go to punchdrunksports.com and listen to my podcast with Sam Tripoli and Ari Shafir.
That's every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday from noon to 2.
Yeah, so you can stream that live, right?
Stream it live at punchdrunksports.com, yeah.
Okay.
Or
And then on
subscribe
iTunes.
on iTunes, yeah.
Got it. And then on the Twitter.
At the Teeb, TheTeeb.
And then your Instagram, though, is different.
Instagram is my actual name, at Jayson Thibault. JaysonThibault.
How many people would have guessed it was spelled that way?
French Canadian nightmare.
Yeah. The Y in
The Y in the
Jayson
first name, I'm fucking both
already
ways.
throws you off. And then Thibault, when I first learned how to spell that, I'm like, get the fuck out. That's how you do that?
Uh-huh.
I had no
Your
clue.
name is a Sudoku.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ungoogleable.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah.
exactly what I am.
Yeah, on Google, which is easier to pronounce than Jayson Thibault.
Yep.
And I just found out there's a guy with my exact name on Twitter, and that's his Twitter handle, but no Y in his first name.
Oh, okay.
And I just somebody said something to him, and he goes, "I think you're looking for at the Teeb."
That's hilarious.
And someone goes, "Man, with your name, and it's such a rare-ish name,
Yeah.
I bet you get hit up from a bunch of weird stuff from all Teeb's fans."
Weird bag of bets.
He
things.
goes,
So like, who is
exactly.
this monster?
He goes, "Yeah, but actually, about once a week, I get hit up with something pretty weird."
I love that. I love that.
Right?
Anyone with a name similar to a comic must have the weirdest few days on Twitter where they're like, what the fuck are people yelling at me for? I didn't do anything.
I know.
Then they Google the guy, they're like, oh, this guy said something offensive, or
Right.
he pulled some weird sex-related thing out of the bag of bets.
I never said Mexicans shouldn't vote. What's going on?
Yeah. That's funny. Are you on the road anywhere? Are you doing anything?
No, I'm still here.
Okay.
But please continue watching Masters of Sex. Everyone that is and says nice things, I appreciate it. 5 episodes left.
5 episodes left. Okay. Next weekend, I'm going to be at Denver Comedy Works. So those of you who live in Denver, Colorado.
Nice. I love that gig.
Denver Comedy Works, the downtown location, September 3rd, 4th, 5th. Halloween weekend, San Francisco. Me and Andy Haynes were co-headlining the San Francisco Punchline.
Fun.
Yeah, and then I think that's it right now. Oh, this Wednesday, sorry. That's tomorrow. Because, yeah, this will be out Tuesday. So tomorrow night, another installment of the workshop show. Brand new material from a bunch of funny comics in L.A. So if you live in L.A., that's Wednesday, 8 p.m., at the Comedy Store with the lineup, which I'm looking up in a second. Sorry.
Joe Rogan.
No, he's not.
Oh.
Yeah, he had a gig come up, so he's not there. And he sends his apologies because he was for up until like a day ago. So it's going to be me hosting. Comedy Store employee, newer comedian Abby Robert. She's going to be opening the show. Sam Tripoli, who we all know and love from the Punch Drunk podcast and the Naughty Show. Steve Renazizi from The League. A buddy of mine, JF Harris, who just moved out here from New York, funny comic. Yasser Lester, guest of this podcast. Garbage Can, also. He is going to be on the show. What's that?
Noted hater.
Yeah, noted hater, Yasser Lester. Just finished writing on the show Girls. So I can't wait to talk about that. And then the very lovely, the very funny Miss Nikki Glazer. So that's the lineup right now. So those are all fucking hilarious comics, all doing new stuff. 8 p.m. At the Comedy Store in the Belly Room. Tickets on the website. I just tweeted about it, so you can find the link there. And that's that. So yeah, Teeb, you just got back to L.A. And we had you on the episode.
Ambush.
Ambush.
Yeah, there was an ambush where we asked you what your 5 favorite desert island songs. An episode that we have yet to do ourselves.
Yep.
but for some reason we were like, let's ambush guests when we have them.
I got a couple.
You did get a couple, and you guys have to listen to the episode to see what they are.
Yeah.
And how many times have you done the show now? Twice?
This is either 2 or 3. 2.
You did the Radiohead one.
Yeah, this might be my second time. Maybe?
Okay, second. And then Jerry's our legacy guest, right?
Yep.
He's done 3.
Done 3.
Okay. So you got one more, and then you're tied.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does this intro count as one?
Nope.
Damn it.
Because this is the same episode.
Damn you, Jerry.
Yeah. So he's in the lead. He's our legacy guest right now. I think a term he came up with for himself.
Was that the sneakerhead one? I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The being the most common guess was really that's a war he's waging on his own. That's for really.
He asked
important.
like right away. It's like, am I the one who's been on the most? We're like, I think we didn't
It
even
really
like
matter to him.
Maybe, probably.
Yeah.
But he was like, I'm the legacy guest.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is a great term because it makes it sound like he's been on 80 of them.
I know.
You're like the legacy guy.
I know. He's like the Don Rickles of the Tonight Show.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So we thank you for being on it.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah. And welcome back to Los Angeles. This is like your welcome back to LA episode.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. We just
Where I get ambushed.
we shot the shit. We talked about a lot of music. We ambushed you. We talked about celebrities and fame a little bit later.
The 80s a lot.
The 80s. We covered a lot of ground.
Yep.
And it was fun. So we hope you guys enjoy this episode with our good buddy, the Teeb. See you guys later.
Suck it.
I wonder where that fear you think comes from.
Well, I mean,
Having money tied up into a house, I'm sure.
well, at one point I had all this money, and then I bought this house, and then I had a plan, and I did what my plan was going really well. I did what everyone said you're supposed to do, and then the whole plan fell apart.
Right.
They think that, so I'm used to like something big and catastrophic happening every so often. So in my head, it's just like around the corner.
I guess it's like the closest thing to opening your own restaurant or business. Where you put all this money in and you're like, this could go to shit and there's nothing that can stop
and I'm
it.
fucked if it does.
Yeah, and it's
I'm
like
completely
Yeah, what
screwed.
can I do to undo it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. There's like there's no like easy. Well, you just do this. Like once I was actually thinking about it. I was driving up Laurel Canyon, and I don't know if you guys remember this, but there was a house that just slid down the hill one time.
Yeah.
Remember
The
that
whole
house?
thing, yeah.
And then they just left it there for like a decade because no one would buy the land and they couldn't sell the house. And I heard the guy was like suing somebody. Well, they finally built a new house there, but it's at the bottom, so it's not on the same area that slid. But like, I drive by that and I'm like, fuck that house. Like I just
Wow.
in my head don't trust it at all.
There's supposed to be this like big El Nino this winter, like the biggest
Yeah,
one.
That's what I hear too.
So I'm wondering what's going to happen to all those houses on the shores of like Malibu and all that stuff.
my
Which
friend,
for decades they've been saying like one of these days,
Yeah.
some
Leslie-
huge fucking tidal wave.
Leslie Grossman's parents own a
Uh-huh.
house right on the beach there.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's just because of shore erosion or what, but she told me they lost like 100 or 200 feet of beach, like in the span of like a year and a half. That used to be basically kind of their front yard.
Right.
That the ocean came that much closer to where they had to put like rocks and stuff because it was just like
Weird.
eroding and eroding and eroding.
That's what happens when you try and just turn nature, that part of nature, into your front yard.
I mean, I
It's
worked.
an ocean.
I was working in Northern California once in Santa Rosa, and there's all these like kind of cliff houses. And someone told me like you're allowed to scoot your house back one time, and it'll be covered by your insurance. But after that, they're like, "Look, dickhead, you put because the shore,
Yeah.
the cliffs just keep eroding."
I want that insurance to be called Scoot Insurance.
I know.
Like on the form, it's
and you're covered for
Scoot.
2 scoots.
You can pay the extra $30,000, and we'll give you a third Scoot.
Yeah. Right. Any
That would be
scoot
great.
after 2 will be paid for by you. How much is a scoot, by the way?
Dude, it must be a fortune.
It cannot be cheap to scoot an entire house.
A house.
200 feet.
I still am amazed every time I see like 18-wheelers moving entire houses.
Oh.
Like they cut them in half and then they put one half on each truck, and they're just like driving on the 5. You're like, what the fuck?
I know.
I always follow them for a while because I'm just like house, car,
Yeah.
house.
You're like, how does that even fucking work? You just uproot like the house is on a foundation.
Yeah.
How do you just like cut it out?
They lift
I've
the
never
house
understood
off the
it.
foundation because I remember there was a house in Eagle Rock. They did that too.
Yeah.
And I drove by it enough times 'cause it was near Al's house to where I kind of saw it in process. They just jack it up slowly, and then they just pop it off like a toupee. Stick it on the thing. It's insane. I don't know how they're able to, once they put it in the new place, for it to still be at all structurally sound because it's just rattling around the whole time.
Maybe they just drill it in from the inside.
Dude, I don't know.
Into the ground. What's the equivalent of that in Chicago? Like the Malibu, like where all the rich people set up houses
like,
where they shouldn't.
What do they call it? The Gold Coast, right on like all along Lakeshore.
Yeah.
In Michigan.
Is there like any threat of waves destroying the houses?
Not really. I mean, that's where like all the rich people are that live in the city. But right, like there's little beaches which used to be bigger. But not a lot.
Isn't the thing in Chicago that some of those like row houses are so old they're fucking legit crooked after a while?
Some of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that whole area. I think, what is it called? The Architecture Walk or something?
Yeah.
And all of those buildings, like all along there, have like, plaques on them that like, so-and-so used to live here,
Right.
Yeah. I think the deal is with that is when something does go wrong, you're then bound by some bizarre historical landmark thing to where you can't just like fix it normally.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
a whole thing.
It has to be, what do they call that? It has to be,
Historically accurate?
yes, that's what it is. To an extent. So, I mean, they got like slaves working in there and stuff.
Right. Yeah. Black people still have to enter through the service entrance.
We have to hire a Chinese person to renovate this floor.
Yeah.
Exactly. If you're drinking fountain breaks, they're like, is it a black one or a white one?
Right.
Oh, my black guy drinking fountain broke.
I wonder when they're going to do that to the Comedy Store. Get it turned into a historical landmark.
Haven't
I was
they
thinking
tried?
about that the other day.
Well, isn't it some weird thing to where it's not they don't own the thing, they own that weird lease? What's all that shit about?
Well, you can get the actual business, the building, turned into a historical landmark. You have to like apply for it and all that stuff. I just don't know that they've ever done it.
I'm surprised.
It's only been successful for such a short amount of time, I think, up until this point.
But in a city like L.A., nothing is that old.
Yeah.
Everything is torn down and rebuilt.
Maybe
a place like the Comedy Store that's been around for 42 years is it's pretty old, and it was Ciro's before that, and so the actual place has like a lot of history. In L.A.
But I wonder if it's just the Shores, because for a while when it was doing so bad, it was always like, well, they could sell it and make a parking lot and make more money if they just didn't think to do it for a long time.
That was the exact quote you would hear for about 10 years.
Yeah.
People would say that about the store.
Once
They'd
this
make more
place-
money if it was a parking lot.
I know.
You get so scared when people say that shit.
Because it was so realistic.
I know. And it's like when you hear your parents fighting and they're like, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna be gone forever.
Yeah.
It's like, don't leave, Mom. Right. No.
I used to talk about that with people, that there was like about 50 dudes that would have just been like walking the streets of Hollywood confused.
Oh yeah.
If the store closed.
Probably more than that.
There would have been so many Friday nights or Saturday nights where I would have found myself heading to the store because I'm like, I don't have anything else to do right now, and then I'd go, oh yeah, it's a parking lot now.
Yeah, that would be so weird because you usually either have a spot there.
Yeah.
Or you do a show somewhere else, and then you go there at midnight.
You go hang out
and
there,
see what's going on?
Where would we go when comedians die?
Oh, to pay respects or I guess you'd go to the
funeral.
I know.
A funeral without free booze.
No, like the night, the day they die.
Yeah.
You know, when you hear about it, everyone just kind of goes to the store to be with each other, like be with other comics.
Yeah, that's a weird thing.
Yeah, like where would that happen?
I don't know.
Probably
that used to scare me so much when I would hear that, and I would always pretend it didn't scare me. I'd be like, "Yeah, I mean, I'd probably just go get spots somewhere else," and then just be like, "Where?" In my head, I'd literally in my head go, "Where?"
Yeah,
yeah, right.
There was no like good ice house back then. There was no West Side Comedy Theater back then.
No.
Yeah, there was the Improv, the Laugh Factory, and the Comedy Store.
Yeah, and
that was it.
That was it.
As far as like legit good places.
I guess I'd go to the West Side Brewco more often. I'd check out that Wednesday. Like,
the
prospects seemed bleak.
Right. Dublin's.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
it's like on fire again. It's weird.
Should we start the ambush?
What ambush?
His ambush.
Oh yeah, if you want.
Yeah.
I'm being ambushed.
This is our first ambush episode.
Nice.
Or ambush segment in an episode.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
It's not going to stay secret that long. When people listen to it, they're going to go,
No,
hey,
we don't have
I
to
heard
do-
you ambush your
I figured we do
guest."
different question ambushes.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Right now, top of your head, Desert Island, 5 songs
Oh, Jesus.
for the rest of your existence.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Isn't it the worst?
That's a
We
horrible
still haven't
ambush.
done our
We were
episode.
supposed to do an episode, and we've been putting it off for close to 6 months because we couldn't pick.
We've done an episode where it was the 5 songs that didn't make our top 5 before we've actually done the top 5.
That's a horrible question because
Isn't it the worst?
it's the worst. Because it so depends on your mood. I mean,
I know.
if I'm in a mood, there could be 5 songs that are absolutely on that list. And, if I'm in depressed, there's a total different 5 songs.
Yeah.
See, Nick, though, you seem to start breaking it up by those categories. You were like, a song for when I'm sad, a song for when I'm happy,
Oof.
a nostalgia song.
Yeah, because the way I see it, I'm heading to like a deserted island forever,
Right.
and I'm like leaving this life as I
Okay,
know it behind.
you would have to factor it in that way.
So I want like a thing for every mood, and like
What's some
something to
good
remind me.
I'm on a deserted island music for the rest of my life.
I have one that I know because it's actually an easy pick.
You can't say it though.
Okay.
you have to save it for our episode.
All right,
Which
fine.
we have to do soon. I mean, what the fuck?
To be fair, I think you're having more problems with it than I am.
Yeah,
Well, it's really tough.
It's really hard.
I've gotten 3 of the 5.
What 3 are they?
I can't say. We have
Well,
to save
I'll
it
tell
for
you
our
how
episode.
the reason this all came
Okay.
up is because when I first started hanging out with who is now my current girlfriend,
Mm-hmm.
she randomly texted me one night. We were just texting each other, and she goes, 10 favorite bands. And I went into a fucking tailspin.
That's
10's a
easier.
lot better than
10. The number 10 is better than 5,
Yeah.
and then bands is better than songs.
Correct.
It's easier
Songs
to.
are so
But I mean,
Yeah.
I went into a full meltdown.
Yeah.
Because I came up with 10. It took me about an hour and a half on the fly. But then I started realizing the bands I forgot. And then it just turned into this huge spiral where I was like, holy shit, my 10 didn't have the Pixies. And then it was like, well, I have to kill myself.
Right.
It became awful. It also turned into like it was super fun. But it's because you start to not only do you start to think, what do I love, but what do I want people to know I love? You start to like this.
Yeah,
it
you
really
start to
defines
judge yourself is what you do.
You
That
judge
you
yourself.
factored that into it.
Yeah, that's what it became. And because you have to remember, we didn't know each other that long, so this was like I could really.
Oh,
fuck
you're
it.
trying to impress her.
Well, to a certain degree, yeah.
Okay,
Had you guys already had
that's
sex
different.
yet?
No,
Oh yeah, that's definitely like in the early flirty stages.
Yeah,
question.
you got to make sure that list is strong.
it had to be strong.
Yeah.
You
I'm
just
not
reply,
saying it was
"What's
like make or
yours?"
break, but it was definitely like
What
I
were
could've fucked it up.
your top 5 bands? Was it in any particular order?
It
or
was
just
in any
lists?
particular order.
It
I was
has to be.
I was freaking out so immediately. I was like, "This isn't in order," but it was like radio. You know, it was like Radiohead,
Sure.
Tom Petty, Built to Spill.
Okay.
I think I for some reason missed the Pixies and then put them back on.
Yeah.
So it was Pixies.
Who'd you remove to put the Pixies on?
I don't remember. It might have been like Public Enemy or something.
Okay.
God damn.
It was a mess, dude.
Yeah.
It was a mess.
So right now in this, like, say you're getting on the plane right now to go to this island.
fuck.
What 5 songs do you take?
I mean, it'll probably change 10 times throughout this podcast.
Right,
and I'm going to be texting both of you all night long. Fuck, I forgot about this. Songs, God.
Yeah.
I would probably.
It's hard.
Do you want one of my songs that didn't make my top 5 but made the second 5?
Sure.
My number one radio head song was Polyethylene. I love that fucking song. I think it's my favorite Radiohead song. Even saying that out loud makes me nervous.
Because what if you
Yeah.
change your mind in 4 minutes?
Yeah, exactly.
Probably. I mean, this is so hard.
It really is.
It really is. It's almost.
You know what's
unfair
funny
question.
too is I made I got to my. I don't like have a Beatles song, and I don't have a Beatles song, and I'm in my head. I'm like, do you really not have a Beatles song?
Yeah. I don't think I would have a Beatles song.
Yeah, me neither.
Positive, I wouldn't.
I had a
Top
Stones
five,
song before I had a Beatles song.
Yeah.
Oh man, you almost have to like go through your music, and I would have a Prince song.
Really?
Okay.
I would probably have a Prince song.
Can't argue with that.
Which one?
Fuck, Purple Rain. Shit.
That's tough too. I love Pink Cashmere. I'd probably have a Tupac song.
Right.
Okay.
God, definitely probably a. I mean, you almost have to go like what bands would absolutely like this song. I would have a probably "You Are My Face."
Okay.
Would be my Wilco song.
Yeah.
You can almost like start with like you're like, okay, who are the bands, and then you're like, okay, what's my favorite song?
That's what I tried doing.
Even
but-
Ashes of the American Flag, I love too.
Yeah.
That
I tried
song.
doing that too. I was like, well, I'll start with my favorite bands, but then I'm like,
But then you got 5 songs for every goddamn band.
I know. So then sometimes you're like, I don't know if any of theirs would make it onto a one song for the rest of my life.
That's the thing. I
Yeah.
mean, that's what you're like. I mean, plus I'm like, I'm on a tropical island. I might want to have some sort of like.
You almost feel like you
Island
go with like
music.
songs that are really long.
I thought about that
So
too.
many people have said that, but
You
I'm
just
like,
you do Freebird and Bohemian Rhapsody. You're like, they go a lot of places. They're long.
yeah, but then you still have like 30 years on that. So what's a 7-minute song really going to do?
I know Trail of Dead has that one. I think what is it, Century of Self or whatever album that
Yeah.
is, where the whole
It's
album
one
is
song.
one song.
The Punch Brothers have songs that are like 20 minutes long, and you're like, just from a not getting bored perspective, it's
Right.
worth it to consider just a longer song. You're like, all right, a symphony.
I might have a Queen
Right.
song.
Dude, you can't tell someone not to have a Queen song.
That's for sure. God,
It's hard, right?
It makes you feel. It makes me feel bad on the inside. Like I've had anxiety.
Yeah,
now.
it's awful.
It causes anxiety.
Yeah. Yeah.
That question.
Because you don't want to
it's
let
5.
yourself
It's not
down.
20. If it's 20,
Dude, I could at 20 even.
Yeah, you could rattle off 12 and not regret them because you're like,
Yeah.
it's like 8 more.
but when you have 5,
Yeah.
you're like, shit.
For the 5 for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I get it, Nick. I get it. It's
Like,
a
that's
horrible
it.
problem. Oh, fuck. That's really hard.
It sounds like the one you've picked so far is "You Are My Face" because that you specified. The
Yeah.
other ones you just picked the art. You're like, I'd have a Prince song and a Queen song.
I would. That's a song that just never gets old to me.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's kind of like all-encompassing mood-wise.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's a huge factor, too, where you're like, if you really thought about it a lot,
Like, what's a song you never turn off?
you never turn it off, you never get sick of it. Because there's songs that I love that, I listen to them for a while, and then I'm like, I'm so sick of this song,
Yeah.
And then you don't listen to it for years.
There's some songs though I won't turn off because they're almost like I liked them because they were so stupid, and but it's not like I love them. Like Rusted Roots, "Send Me on My Way," won't turn it off. I don't know why I like it. It's not
Right.
going on my top 5.
Yeah.
But like I won't turn it off. Every time it comes on, I'm like, yeah. Like I kind of.
But that might be a reason to put a song on. In
maybe
your top
like
5.
it gives you the giggles.
Yeah.
Something so ridiculous that like you love it.
Yeah.
Like I'm not like an 8. I realized I went to this club recently. I went to a club for someone's birthday for
Like a
my girl's,
nightclub?
Yeah, nightclub for my girl's friend's birthday. It's at
like
some,
a loud bottle service nightclub?
yeah, but it's at this
Sorry.
hotel on Wilshire, but it's all 80s themed. It's like an 80s bar. You go through the door's a vending machine, like
Right.
whatever. I realized I fucking love 80s music way more than I thought.
Really?
I hate clubs. I had the best time, and then all of a sudden they had a breakdancer performance.
Did you breakdance?
No. It wasn't
there
like,
was a-
hey, everybody breakdance. The bar like sunk down, and then there was a mini stage, 4 breakdancers, then a Michael Jackson impersonator, and for like only 8
Where
minutes.
is this place? Sounds awesome.
I know, right?
It's some new hotel on Wilshire,
in what, Hollywood? or-
Koreatown.
Oh, in Koreatown.
Oh, okay.
It's called like the style. It's like a short word like that.
Sounds terrible. Huh?
Something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this club, I guess, is like really hard. Like
Hard to get in, like,
it's very hard to
thing?
get into, I guess, because it's fucking fun as shit. It's
Yeah.
all and 80s music makes the club not that creepy Because no one's like getting all like gross and fired up and like
It doesn't make it douchey.
Yeah, it doesn't make it douchey.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like
It's
a
the
Duran
retro
Duran
theme.
song, and then the Pet Shop Boys, and then Depeche Mode, and you're like, every song comes on, and at least 20 people are like, fuck yeah, this song.
I went to an 80s theme bar in Houston when I was there, and it was like the whole place was decked out in just 80s throwback retro shit. There's pictures of Madonna on the wall, 5 TVs all playing different music videos from the 80s on like mute, and then like the DJ's playing 80s music, and like everyone's dancing, and it was like you're in there and you're like, if this was a regular bar, no theme, I would be really annoyed right now.
Yeah.
But since there's so much cool shit to look at, it's like it's novel for at least 90 minutes.
No, the people who were like going for it super hard in a normal place, I'd be like, this is gross. But like, I looked over at a guy who was just having he was dancing harder than anyone in the whole place, just because he was like, this is my shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, that guy rules right now.
Because how often, when you get to a certain age, do you get to experience all your childhood shit in one place with 100 other people?
But there was a lot of people there. The group of people I was there with were probably 10 years younger than me. And they were still super into it. But like one was like, so this music like means something to you. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, I bought this record. Like me and my brother bought this record at like a record store.
Like a real record, because it was a record.
Yeah.
Not ironically bought like something on wax. Like,
we bought
you had to listen to it.
There's
on
no
a
other
record
way.
player.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, like we bought a Journey record. Like I bought that shit and tried to draw the cover. Like we bought that shit at the record store on Foothill. That's now the Osh.
We missed 8 tracks. 8 tracks blew by us.
Yeah,
that was like for us. But albums.
To be fair, we were big in like it was a cassette tape time for me.
Cassette tapes were like when I was at the age of like, oh, I have my own musical taste now, and I want to purchase music myself. It was all tapes.
Yeah,
those were way cheaper.
When CDs came around, I'm like, fuck, man, what am I gonna do with all these tapes?
You know, CDs came out before tapes too.
Yeah.
But they just never took off in popularity until later.
I saw a thing on Huffington Post where like someone invented the digital photo, or it was either the digital photo or the MP3 like 20 years before they released it, and some guy at Kodak was like, we're not putting that out yet.
The photo,
the digital photo. He's like, we can't do that right now.
Everything like that was invented years before any practical use.
Yeah,
like the MP3
like
was invented somewhere in the 90s, and then people were like, well, I don't know what to do with this. And then someone was like, I think you could use this to play music for free forever.
Yeah.
So
I think this could topple this entire industry.
Right. We could upend the entire recording industry in like a year and a half with this.
Thousands and thousands of music executives are going to be out of work with this.
Yeah.
Is that cool?
That's what George Lucas said. He has developed a kind of like shortcut to computer animation or some shit, or something having to do with cameras, where he was like, oh, I can't tell anyone because it'd kill, like he said something, it would kill like 50,000 jobs. Like it's a kind of either editing type thing he's figured out, or animation thing where he's like, it would put thousands of people out of work.
Right.
'Cause it would just make doing something that takes like 5 people take like a dude.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's one of those mistakes though that people make, where they try and like suppress some sort of technology that you have no control over. It's gonna make its way out. That's the way technology works.
Sure.
It keeps going forward whether you like it or not. And then they go like, no, people will lose jobs. But then it's eventually going to come out, and then someone will either do it for free or not find a way to monetize it, and then it's going to destroy all those jobs anyway.
Yeah.
And it'll take a longer time to like bounce back.
Has this tangent helped you come up with any songs?
I have been thinking about it. It's hard to not think about.
Just now talking about 80s music, I was like, do I put Don't You Forget About Me by Simple Minds on mine? I love that fucking song.
Yeah. Goodbye Horses.
Fuck.
It's really hard.
I think the 80s are an underrated decade for music. It's considered kind of kitsch. But those songs were like well crafted. The good ones were like excellently produced.
Yeah, there was good music in the 80s for sure. But
yeah. But it kind of all gets lumped together. Like
hard to not get an Eagles song in there.
The Eagles are great. I was listening to the Eagles yesterday. You don't like the Eagles?
I don't.
Why is that? That
I just
surprises
don't.
me.
They're not. I think maybe because I've never listened to them, so I only.
You're from California. There's
It's
such
only
a
Hotel
California
California.
70s band.
Oh, then you don't not like the Eagles. You just don't know
No,
their
that's the
music.
thing. I've never heard them. It's same with Wilco. I've never heard.
That's still
Wilco.
I can't accept that.
That shocks me.
I can't.
I know.
Accept that.
You'd think-
Everything about you.
I know. I don't
Says
know
you
why.
wanna be
I don't
inside
know
Jeff
why
Tweedy.
anyone never told me to get a Wilco
I have
record.
been telling you.
No, but I mean when I was younger, when it would have stuck.
Oh.
I did.
No, younger, what, like a year ago?
No, like 8 years ago, 10 years ago.
Again, I was still pretty old.
Well, how young are you saying then?
Like in your 20s, when like bands really get to you.
Well, when you were in your 20s, I don't think Wilco was
Exactly.
in a band.
How long's Wilco been a band?
Since 97, 8?
Yeah, 5, 6.
Yeah, I was
6
fucking 20 years old in 98.
Yeah, but they weren't like, I mean, they had one album. There was no
Still,
like,
I would have. It's weird that would have been a band I would have gotten into then. It's weird that I didn't. Like
Yeah, I
that
don't know
was. I
that-
mean, if you like Built to Spill, liking Wilco's not that big of a leap.
Somewhat. I mean, early Wilco was like not like Built to Spill, and no one really knew. I mean, they had people knew them in that around that like Sun Volt, Golden Smog kind of
Right.
like alt before alt country was even a
Yeah.
thing,
Right. And
But
maybe
it was-
that's why.
Maybe in the early to mid 2000s, people were like Wilco.
I just-
like
It was
they're
once that
doing
movie
shit.
came out, I think, in like 2000 or whenever that
That's
was.
the thing. I remember when the movie came out, and I still was like, yeah, I don't know this. I've heard of this band, and everyone likes them, but like, I don't know what's going on with it.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think when that movie came out, I think that got a lot of people like into him.
That's the sound of a landline, by the way, you guys.
I was just
I don't
wondering-
know what
Your
to do about.
landline?
I have a landline.
I was gonna say, where the fuck is that coming from?
I have a landline because I have a home alarm.
Did you
Wait.
get that landline at that 80s party that you went to?
They were giving out landlines. That's awesome.
Funny. Good one.
Yeah,
And they gave away phones.
for a minute I thought like a window was open and that was the neighbor's phone. I'm like, I guess he lives next to a 97-year-old grandmother.
No, you have to have a landline to have a house alarm. The home security
Interesting.
system.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember telling you a long time ago. I'm like, we were talking about some Kings of Leon album or something, and I was like, have you heard the latest Wilco? And you're like, no, I don't like Wilco. I'm like, really? Why? You're like, oh, they suck.
I think maybe
And
I
then you
heard-
associated them with like douchebag hipsters that listen to him. And then I was like,
may have
all
just
right.
heard like one song, and like in my head, I can't remember anything I've ever heard of Wilco, but in my head, like when I think of them, I think like, maybe I heard just like a sleepy, like a slow one that was like, oh, it seems boring.
Right.
And
but you
that's
had
why
like
I
a
never-
specific. You're like, I don't like their music, and then only like douchebag.
It might have been that
hipsters.
when that movie came out, people kind of freaked out. Like they became like, I was like, why did this band have a movie? I haven't even.
It's
like
a concert film. That one.
Yeah,
don't know.
I'm trying to break your heart. No, the original, the black and white one.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Where they
the documentary.
Yeah, the documentary. I remember thinking like, it's weird that this band is a documentary,
Yeah.
and so I just never. But then I've gone through phases where I just don't investigate music for a long time.
I can get like that sometimes. But then I get so bored of. Now it's like anything. Like if you have Spotify, I don't even need to really even actively look for new music because it sends me a notification. Hey, there's 5 new albums out today, and you're like, oh, cool.
Yeah. Or even like about artists that you like. They're like, hey, Ryan Adams just uploaded 17 new EPs.
Yeah, that happens every day.
You get a notification every day of that.
It literally happens every day.
But Ryan Adams is another one. Have you listened to him?
Oh
No.
God.
I don't like. I haven't.
See, there you go again. You started with I don't like, and then you're like, hold
No,
on.
what I heard, I didn't.
You
love.
heard someone
I didn't love that
17
Strokes cover album.
The what?
When he did that Strokes cover album,
I've never even heard
I
that.
don't even remember that. I would absolutely would not put it past him.
he covered Is
Yeah.
This It?
I don't even remember that. He's
Well,
covering Taylor Swift's
I
newest
know.
album right now, and it sounds pretty fucking
It sounds
good.
cool.
Yeah, dude.
It really sounds cool.
Yeah.
People would always tell me about Whiskey Town. How much
Whiskey
Whiskey
Town
Town I
is
loved.
awesome. That was around early Wilco too. That was in that same little world.
I can remember seeing a Ryan Adams music video.
I don't know if
and
that I've
just,
ever
like,
seen
not-
one.
Not being like that's
Yeah,
right.
I don't know.
He's really really great.
He'd probably have one of my 5 songs for sure. But Jesus Christ, or
Come
Whiskey
Pick
Town,
Me Up maybe.
Whiskey Town, or that. Come Pick Me Up. But that's one that, like, after a while, I start to get sick of it.
Okay.
Like you hear it so much.
right.
That song. Winding Wheel. I love Winding Wheel.
Which one? Which album's that on?
I think it's actually might even be a Whiskey Town song, but he always sings it every. You'd be hard pressed to see him in concert
and not sing
and
that.
him
Maybe
not
I've
sing
heard
that
it
song. That
This is a stressful ambush.
it really is hard. That's like a question where you're like, okay, in 2 months, give me your answer to this. You guys haven't even answered
I know.
You guys are reluctant to even make eye contact when this question is proposed. Do you have songs that have major Final Five?
Yeah.
And you have three?
I have 3 of the 5.
So you have 2 spots left?
Yeah, and they're hard to fill.
Is a Tool song one of them for you?
Possibly.
Uh-huh.
And see, that's what's so difficult about this list is they are my favorite band, but when it comes to like 5 songs for the rest of your life, I'm like, would one of them make it?
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's hard. It doesn't even really have to be from like, oh, these are my 5.
Yeah.
These don't even have to be your 5 favorite songs.
No, they're like
Yeah.
they're like the 5 most useful.
Yes. They're like these.
That's why, like, Bohemian Rhapsody to me, it's so beautiful.
Right.
It also rocks hard.
Right.
It's also a story.
Right.
There's a
Right.
murder. It's like
Right.
it's an episode of CSI.
Right.
Like it to me, you're like, you know what? That one clicks off a lot of boxes of things you'd want to hear.
Yeah.
Freddie Mercury's voice.
Yeah, which is incredible. Don't Stop Me Now is another good Queen song. Mm-hmm. I love that tune.
Yeah, there's a lot of fucking... And the more music you listen to, the more songs there are to pick from.
But
and
fuck,
then you
Purple
start
Rain.
going crazy.
Purple Rain, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, do you not put a Michael Jackson song?
I don't.
I probably don't.
I love PYT.
Oh man, that really
That
actually.
to me, that may be.
There's some songs that are off the wall.
Yeah, that PYT may be my favorite dance song.
It's up there, man.
That
that's,
song is a fucking masterpiece.
Sure is.
Like if that song comes on and you don't want to dance, something happened that you don't like dancing.
Right.
That song is so good.
Thriller and Off the Wall might be the best 1-2
Turn the beat around.
of
I want to rock with you.
anybody's like history discography of sure he did shitload of albums before that and after that, but right there to go Off the Wall, which is a great album,
Yeah.
and then followed up with Thriller, that
Dude.
might be the best 1-2.
That's the best one. I mean, consider that back-to-back album situation.
He did that one as a favor to the record executive that ran whatever label
Berry
that was
Gordy?
on. The which one?
Must be
Berry Gordy?
I would think so.
I don't know.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
And then he's like, we need a hit for our label, and then he did Thriller. So it wasn't even like he took 5 years to like carefully craft. It was just like, yeah, I'll knock that out for you.
Dude, Thriller.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have anything off Thriller in the top 5. That seems odd.
I mean,
Yeah.
but there's also that element of this that's like,
There's just certain artists that like I've heard they kind of were overkill for me growing up. So then the songs
I was
don't
just
do
gonna
it
say
for me.
that.
Like
That's what I feel is always a shame. That
I've
like,
heard them so many
Yeah.
times that they're kind of just permanently in my head anyway, so I don't need them on the island.
right? Yeah, it's a
Right.
great way to put
Like,
it. Like
I know Thrillers so much that
Yeah.
if I hear it, I feel like I'm always hearing it.
there's like
in a way.
7 Led Zeppelin songs that have already been ingrained into my mind
Totally.
forever.
But
the
fuck.
Beatles, all
That's
the
why the
big
Beatles don't make
yeah,
it.
Me too.
I've heard the Beatles
Nirvana.
everywhere I go. Oh boy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nirvana.
It just doesn't even. Now the Stones I got into late, so like a part of me is like maybe one of theirs.
Oh, I know a song that I might have another permanent one. Ooh, it's tough to make it.
I mean,
permanent,
like
though.
Say it out loud and say how you feel about it after the words leave your mouth.
Aurora by the Foo Fighters.
Really?
I love that fucking
Okay.
that song. I never ever get sick
That's
of.
interesting.
It's such an awesome the drum beat to it is. I love it. That's a weird one, I know.
Yeah.
See,
But
like,
every
that's what
time
I'm
that
saying.
song
But
comes
it's
on
for
in my
you.
shuffle, I love it.
That's
Yeah.
super personal. Whereas someone may clown you, like a music nerd would be like, "Fucking give me a break."
It's the only Foo
Fighters.
Fighters song I haven't saved in my Spotify.
Yeah.
You know,
What
I don't even
record
have a lot of
was
their
that?
albums, but I have that one song.
Yeah. That's the thing with the Foo Fighters is they're not a bad band. Like they
They're
get
great.
made fun of, But you're
Kinda.
like, they do. And you're like, why? They're all talented musicians.
They're great.
They make like catchy, good, like well-crafted pop songs.
Sure.
I love
They're
that
not
first
breaking.
record.
First
And-
record's great.
Yeah.
Second record's pretty good.
Yeah. There were good songs on it, but I don't know. Maybe they just ended up like getting attached to like a younger demographic, and then people got old and they found them kind of cheesy or corny.
Maybe.
But Dave Grohl himself is the coolest dude.
I mean, yeah.
And he was in fucking Nirvana. It's
Yeah.
like, how do you? I don't know.
Yeah, if you leave Nirvana, first of all, you're the drummer of Nirvana. You're not the guitar player or the lead guy.
Yeah.
If you started even half a decent band,
Sure.
then he made another huge band, and then
He made another band where he wasn't even the drummer.
yeah,
I know.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I
He
mean?
isn't even a
And he's
drummer.
all self-taught. He grew up in like the DC punk scene and
Yeah.
like fucking did
I think he even
cut his
dropped out of
teeth.
high school, I think.
Yeah, yeah. He toured with I can't remember the name of the huge fucking punk
He toured
band.
with Tom Petty after Tom Petty's drummer left the band.
But there was some punk band he went on the road with for a while. It wasn't like Black Flag. It was some band on that level in the punk scene back then. And then he ended up joining Nirvana. So he's like from the get-go has
Yeah.
just been involved in cool shit, and he's this talented, cool dude.
Just for putting Pat Smear in his band. I'm like, word.
Yeah.
Like, you like the Germs that much. You're like, no.
Right.
You want to be in the Foo Fighters?
And he is like a lover of music.
Oh, yeah. He bought, whose drums? Maybe John Bonham's drums.
Really?
And just has them, like, as, like, art in his house. Like, he
Yeah.
doesn't play them. They just sit in a fucking corner
so
of his
cool.
house.
Like just watching Sonic Highway, the
Yeah.
docuseries, you're just like, this guy lives and breathes music.
The Foo Fighters they rickrolled the Westboro Baptist Church, like, over the weekend.
Yeah, I saw that headline.
What happened?
I guess the Westboro Baptist Church were going to protest something to be dicks. And so
They're so ridiculous.
the Foo Fighters, they showed up and, like, basically rickrolled them. Like, tons and tons of people showed up and just had, like, a fucking super gay-ass dance party.
Oh, really?
Yeah. To,
That's
like,
really
just
great.
overwhelm them to where they just couldn't be heard on any level.
Yeah.
What a bunch of... I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I don't even take them seriously.
Nobody does.
No one
It's
does.
almost like it's a joke.
It's
Yeah.
like Trump running for president.
You're like, come
It's
on,
like,
you guys don't-
okay.
They picketed
Peanut.
Harris Whittles. Like, they just look at who's in. They basically go on Twitter and look what's trending, and then go at that.
and then picket that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're getting attention, I guess, guys.
That's really all they want.
You know how small that group is? There's like 100 people in their congregation. It's tiny.
yeah, they're just so loud about it on like the internet
Yeah.
with their
Well, yeah,
crazy
it's like,
signs.
Who can I piss off to get attention? Like, I want to hurt somebody's
They literally
feelings.
get on the news by making poster board signs.
Yeah.
They just make super ballsy signs at like a Kinko's.
Yeah, they'll be like, what's the word now that's like,
God's happy this person died. That's
Yeah,
basically
yeah.
their whole trip.
yeah.
It's like God wanted this person to die, and then that's how they've gotten on the news.
protesters. Dude, when I was in when I was at the Punchline, the hotel across the street from me was like there was some sort of strike happening. I mean, these two hotels are directly across the street from each
Oh,
other.
like one of those union strikes?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
sir. And at 7 o'clock, they had like
AM?
eight guys, AM,
Uh,
maybe even before 7 a.m. They had these like 8 guys that were just marching around in a circle, 2 bullhorns, and 2 of them had a pan,
Yeah.
like pots and pan, like a pan,
oh,
and
no.
a big rock.
Oh.
And their chant was for everybody to wake up and check out of this hotel.
Oh,
my
man.
God.
Their intention was to wake, but it woke everybody else up at the hotel across the street. My hotel, we don't have a dog in this fight.
Yeah.
yeah.
But they're waking, and that chant was like, check,
Yeah.
check out, don't check in, everybody wake up and check out of this hotel and all this. And you're just laying there, just blinking, like, I'm going to fucking murder somebody.
Yeah.
So I went down to the, the place like where all the free continental breakfast is and all that shit is, and I'm just like, what's here that I can throw?
What can I throw?
And
Yeah.
I got a bunch of apples.
Yeah.
And I just went back up to my window and I was just throwing apples across the fucking
Yes.
street.
Yeah.
I wonder there's got to be some sort of law that like that prevents protesters from like disturbing the peace.
Yeah, what's a
like you can't just do
disturbance?
anything you want when you're protesting.
You can chant. I mean, you've never
You can
seen
chant, but there's got to be some sort of limit to how loud and disruptive.
When I tell you how mad I was, you have no idea. And we work late at night.
Yeah.
I was still up at fucking 3:30.
Yeah.
Just laying in my fucking hotel room.
Yeah.
And then 4 hours later, right when I'm, asleep, these fucking
It's like a
bozos. And it
Flintstones
was
type
like
protest going on.
4 or
over there.
5 of them were like really mangy looking, like homeless people. They were just like, here's $20.
Yeah.
Here's just repeat what I say.
Yeah.
I got a bullhorn. I'm a union guy.
Yeah.
Right.
And they protested for like an hour. I wanted to go, which is you said something that reminded me of this whole story, but I wanted to go show up like 4 or 5 guys show up, pull up in a van next to them, start marching around them with no protesting signs.
Yeah.
So like no more protesting. So they're actually protesting a protest.
Right.
And then I wanted a third van to pull up with just one guy that protests the protesters. You know what I mean? No more protesting protesters.
That circle would just keep
And
going.
It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger
yeah.
until you don't even know what the fuck these guys are protesting.
That would be so great.
I'm still trying to think of songs. I can't do it.
I think I got 2.
Okay.
I have 2.
What was
have
your
to.
second one?
Well, the Foo Fighters song, and then the Wilco song, "You're My Face,"
Oh, right.
and Aurora.
Okay.
I'm pretty positive.
Do you have any slow jams?
That's a good question. Both of those are arguably slower. But I may have a slow jam. I almost certainly would have a Tupac song. Which one? That's a tough one. Slow jam, maybe. Maybe.
I mean, do you take a song on the desert island that it makes you cry?
I mean, I can pretty much...
It makes you sad, yeah, because there's so many things you can think about, like, and reflect on in life that are like sad, but not necessarily in a bad way, especially after a while.
And I'm totally alone on this island, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
I need
you.
a good song to beat off to.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's some of those like Dre ones where he's like fucking
Jerk
somebody
off
on the Chronic.
song.
There's those in between things on the Chronic where he's
Wouldn't it be
fucking
funny
somebody.
if that was somebody's 5 songs? It's just those little in-between moments that were on like rap songs.
That's the worst
Where
about
they're
like
just
having
smoking
albums.
weed.
Yeah, people smoking weed, sirens.
There's a lot of
and
those
gunshots.
on Doggy Style.
Dude, I
Yeah.
hate the skits when they pop up on your fucking phone. You're like, "What? Oh, look! Oh, god damn it!" And you gotta fucking forward it.
Yep.
Interlude. It always says interlude.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Ugh.
Wow, man. That's really
Yeah, when you
tough.
buy a hip hop album in the 90s, you'd be like, "Why are there 28 tracks on this?"
Exactly. And there's like 8 songs.
Yeah, 8 songs, 28 tracks.
Exactly.
It would just be a dude like you hear like,
Yeah.
"Man, these motherfuckers don't
Hey, yo,
know."
pass that pipe.
Exactly. All of their buddies just saying
People
dumb
been saying
shit.
you fell off like 6 different tracks of that.
Yep. Uh-huh. Exactly.
Car tire screech.
Gunshots. Yep.
Then the song starts.
Sirens.
There's an Eminem album that definitely has 22 tracks on it.
A lot of Eminem's albums had those like little, especially the Marshall Mathers LP.
Yeah, a
that
lot
had
of him like beating up his wife.
every other song had some sort of little sketch.
Yeah.
That guy's incredible, huh?
He was pretty great.
Dude, I love White America. That song's great.
That's a song.
The
I
Way
thought you
I
were-
Am is a
'cause I love
great
White
song.
The
America.
Way I Am's great. The Way I Am is definitely great.
Stan was also
I think
really
my
good.
favorite is White America, though. I love that fucking song.
God.
That's my. I think that'd be my favorite Eminem song.
Do I have a slow... Do you have a slow jam?
No.
Do you have a slow jam?
I was trying to think of one. I don't know. I
It's
don't
hard to
think so.
really commit to one of those.
I never
Yeah.
put a slow jam on ever.
No.
Like,
And I was never like, hey man, let me play some music.
like an
for
Aretha
some
Franklin.
chick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I never do
It
like a
must be-
sexy play. It's just
Yeah.
like a playlist of a bunch of stuff.
Like
Yeah.
maybe a Portishead.
Yeah. Maybe
All their
a Massive
songs are so
Attack.
slow.
Yeah, if I've ever played music for a chick, it was because like, oh, we both like this band, or like, I want to turn you on to a band.
Yeah.
It's never been like, I'm gonna Put on some Luther Vandross. And
Yeah.
Get
Let Al Green guide us into the night.
let him guide us.
Yeah, it's
exactly.
weird. It's weird
Yeah.
you put Al Green on alone.
It depends on the girl too. Some chicks are like, I'm not into this shit.
Oh, I know.
Some girls are like, put on like Slayer and fucking, crazy
yeah.
hard rock. And then some girls are like, oh, something like indie rock. It's just, yeah.
Dude, part of me wants to put an Andrew WK song on just to fucking when I want to run around the island.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean,
Like party till you puke. You're like, all right.
That's one of the songs you put on after you figured out how to like make your own like little umbrella out of like leaves and a twig.
Yeah.
And then you stick it in the first coconut you've cracked open. And then you're sitting out on the sand and you're like,
Celebration
fuck
jam.
yeah. And
You know
then
what else
put
is
on Andrew
interesting is
WK.
like, what about like a good mashup, like a good like girl talk? Because that has so many
Oh, you get like
songs in it.
37 songs from
You
the
get, like
90s.
37 songs
Yeah.
in like 7 minutes.
I guess you could do that. Yeah, you could take a girl talk song.
Because that would be, some of those songs go like fast, slow. It has everything in it.
Yeah, they get a lot of like classics. Yeah, I guess you could do that.
I mean, I don't know what any of those songs are called. Number 3, number
Yeah.
4.
Yeah, track 4.
Track 5. I'm surprised that guy hasn't come out with a new album yet.
Well, he's waiting for more stuff to sample. He's literally sampled all the songs from
Every
the
song
last
that's ever
25
happened.
years.
I know. He has like 10 years in between each
Yeah.
album because he samples
His
everything.
discography is like the collected works of the history of all music.
I know.
If you had to take a stand-up album, what do you take?
Ooh,
That's hard.
that is hard.
I would take probably. I don't know. That's hard.
I cut my right off the top of my head. I thought Delirious.
Stop Not Owning This would be up there.
Although I
Yeah.
I watched Delirious the other day. I will
Delirious?
say- yeah, I watched Delirious, and the like gay guy stuff at the beginning
Uh-huh.
sounds real different now.
It sure does.
It's real sharp and mean. You're just like,
It
whoa,
really
hey.
is.
It's so. I mean, it sort of like to hear it. It wasn't like it actually felt like it bothered me to hear it.
Yep.
It was really interesting because I knew it was there. I remember it all, but hearing now, you're like, ooh, dang, dude,
I know.
that's fucked up.
Yeah, some of that. I mean, there's going to be a lot of that too when we like there's other comedians and stuff and comedy movies where you're going to look
Yeah.
back and they're like, oh, they're saying words that we don't say anymore.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean that Dire Straits song where he says faggot like 20 times.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just going to be a lot of that now where we're going to go, oh, whoa, forgot about that.
people, I forgot people used to be so insensitive towards each other.
And it's
Yeah.
almost like the way the joke kills and the casualness. You're like, ooh,
Yeah.
ooh.
Yeah.
It was rough.
Everything he did killed.
Yeah.
He used another guy, and that was also that same era,
Yeah.
of that 80s and that same, Thriller and all that. He was a guy that just was on top of the fucking world.
22
Eddie
years
Murphy.
old and basically conquered it.
Yeah. At 22.
Yeah. It's like, well, I beat comedy.
Yeah, I beat comedy.
I'll do
tilted
one
this
more.
fucking
Yeah,
game.
I'll do one more
completed
album, and then I guess
comedy.
I'll be done with stand-up because I basically beat it.
Yeah, I finished it.
Yeah, he finished comedy.
He finished
Yeah.
comedy.
He really did
He
finish
got to the
it.
end and then dusted off his hands, and he's like, all right, what's next?
That's why
a
when
movie
people are
stardom?
like-
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll do that
People
for
are like,
a
why
while.
doesn't he come back? You're like, he beat it.
Why
He
does he
did.
need to? Yeah.
Same thing with Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
He was at the store the other night. Everyone's like, oh, wouldn't it be awesome if
He's making a show.
he was there for that. But that got
He's still doing that show about the store or whatever?
Yeah.
Different people. There's a different writer. And it's with Showtime.
Okay.
I'm dying up here, or whatever,
Yeah.
based on that
It was
book.
turning the book into a show.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, and
One of the writers from Masters of Sex is writing it.
oh, is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Showtime thing, right?
Yeah.
And that got the dialogue of like, man, what if you came back and started doing stand up here? How awesome would that be? You're like, why? He's undefeated. All he can do is lose
Yeah.
Right.
and cause himself stress.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's either you've had to have never quit doing it, and that's the only way you could be like, oh yeah, that guy's still doing stand up, like Chris Rock, Jerry Seinfeld. They've never
even
stopped.
how Robin Williams.
Yeah,
was
Robin
the same
Williams.
way, yeah.
They never stopped. But for someone to like accomplish that much and then quit for 20 years. Like, going back would be, a waste of time.
It's like Seinfeld was saying, like, Lorne Michaels would offer him, like, why don't you come, or NBC and Lorne Michaels and people like that would be like, make a sitcom. And he was like, why? I made the best one.
Yeah,
why would I
more.
do that?
I
don't
beat
think Seinfeld was
sitcoms.
the best sitcom, but he's not going to make one better. He just isn't. It would be impossible.
Yeah, he would have to do something completely different.
Yeah. Like the way Ray Romano did Men of a Certain Age.
Right.
Which was great. It was totally different.
Yeah, you got to go in a different... You can't just copy the same thing, because all people are going to do is be like, well, that's just...
And when you hit a
Seinfeld
certain
was
point,
Cosby
of
tried to do
stardom,
that second show, and he even
Yeah.
had Felicia Rashad in it. It was like, nope.
You hit a certain point of stardom where you get typecast as yourself.
Yeah.
You're so famous that people only see you as Bill Cosby.
Yeah, you're Jordan on the Wizards.
Yeah,
Right.
like Bill Cosby's name on every show he's ever been on has been
Yeah.
Bill Cosby.
He actually
His character's
lately
name
has
is-
been able to untypecast himself.
Yeah.
He managed to find a way to do it.
Yeah.
If someone
Raped
was brave
60
enough to
women.
cast
raped
him
his
as
way
a
out
villain.
of it. Yeah. I will
Yeah.
rape my way out of being typecast as the good guy.
Yeah.
God, you know who I feel real bad for the cast of the other people on the Cosby Show who
That now don't get their residuals.
they're getting. I'd on the low end, I'd say $50,000 a year taken away from each of them, easy. That TV Land shit, maybe more.
They should. I wonder if they could sue him for that.
I wonder.
I don't know.
It wasn't his decision,
True,
you know.
but I mean, it was his actions.
Yeah.
I doubt it. There's no
I mean,
way.
he's got so much money. Do you think he cut small checks? Like, sorry, here's
No
$1 million.
way. That guy's... no one's more self-involved than
Oh
that
yeah,
guy.
he's
There's no way he's giving anyone anything.
the world's biggest narcissist.
Unless it's
Herpes.
hush money.
Herpes.
Yeah, herpes or hush money.
Yeah.
Well, apparently he did give a bunch of hush money.
Yeah.
But there was like a statute of limitations on it.
Yeah.
Or whatever. It's like you can't talk about this for 20 years or whatever. And it's actually been
Yeah.
like they were like, oh, those 20 years, this will go away. And they're like, no,
Yeah.
I'm going to wait for 20 years.
You
and
wonder-
20 years and one day, I am telling on you, and I've got your money.
You wonder what's going to end up happening to that dude.
It's so amazing to me that he, that you could get pulled over after having 3 beers and spend an entire night in jail, and it costs you tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And that happens every day. This guy raped 60 women.
Yeah.
He is still walking around signing autographs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not really denying it. He's not saying he did it, but he's not saying he didn't do it.
Woke up today, had breakfast, had some lunch.
Yeah.
Gonna have some dinner. Watch
Yeah.
a little Netflix.
With my wife, even.
In a
Not even
mansion.
like... Yeah,
In a
in a mansion
mansion.
with my wife.
The only
Who's
thing that's
sticking
changed
by
is
me.
he never Googles his name.
Yeah. Or watches the news probably anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, how is he not?
I mean, maybe in his head, he's just like, I'm so close to the finish line. Like, I'm 80-something years old or whatever. I'm so close. Just ignore it until I die.
Also, the level of ego that guy had to have done all that shit. In his head, I bet she's like, this'll pass. Like,
I
it's
will
just
get away with it because I always
He's
have.
clearly a
Sociopath,
sociopath.
for sure.
So it's just like, I'm me. Things like this don't happen to me.
Yeah, hey, fuck it.
It'll
You're going to
go
need
away.
me eventually.
Who do you believe? This girl who's
Yeah.
groggy and smells like cum, or me? I'm Bill Cosby.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
Dr. Huxtable.
Yeah, I'll just throw on a sweater.
Dr. Huxtable. Yeah.
It's gonna
toss
be
a
weird
fucking
when
thing
he-
of Jello
like-
at you and everything's fine.
When if think about what it would have been like if none of this had come out when he died versus what it will be like. It would have been like the comedy icon, like the nation would have gone into like a
Groundbreaking, beloved comedian.
There would have been a month of mourning. There would have been TV shows.
Oh, yeah.
NBC would have done a whole thing. It would have been huge.
Yeah, they would have
Now-
reran every episode of the Cosby Show on
Yeah.
like TV Land or Nickelodeon.
Now,
or
literally,
wherever.
it's just like it'll be quiet and weird.
It'll
Yeah.
be weird.
Now the headline would be like, bad sweater wearing serial rapist
It
dies.
won't be like because when Michael Jackson died, it was different.
I remember that.
It changed. It was a weird thing. It was like oh my god, Michael Jackson died. And people got real bummed, and it was like almost the controversy was like trying to still come out, but people were like, yeah, but Thriller, like it was.
He also died in a weird way.
Yeah.
Like the drug.
Well,
it was
and
just like
so young. I mean, 50 for so young. I mean, that was
Yeah.
the if you heard like one of the Golden Girls died right now, you'd be like, oh, well, it's too bad.
Yeah.
You know, she had a good life, whatever. But, you hear, somebody like that dies when he's so young. It's not even on your radar that Michael Jackson's going to die.
But it also wasn't surprising because his life was so bizarre and weird. And you're like, he was one of those guys where like, I wouldn't be surprised if that guy just turned up dead one day.
He almost lived a punishment for a while, too. Like, he was such an odd person. You were like, you're so clearly miserable.
Yes.
That I almost think it made people more sympathetic whether you thought he did that thing to the kid or not. You were like, this guy clearly is a fucking disaster. Whereas
Would have been
Cosby's
awesome
just
to meet him.
remorseless.
Oh, he's one of those people that would have been really awesome to, not do a. I mean, it'd be great. Imagine if you got Michael Jackson on your podcast.
I know, right?
That'd be so awesome. But if you could just somehow, circumstantially, have an honest sit down talk with him for half hour, 45 minutes, would have been awesome.
Yeah, I don't think that would have been possible after like 1993.
Yeah.
But
He
I mean,
just
as
went
much as you could with
off the
him,
deep end. Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like his,
Yeah, you catch him off guard one day
maybe he's
where he's just chill.
But yeah, and his meds are because apparently he was just medicated to the tits every day,
To death.
yeah.
He did it until he died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It killed him. Yeah, it was just out of his
Do you
mind.
remember where you guys were when you found out when you heard he died?
I found out before it was even in the news. Because, yeah, someone I knew was working in the hospital where he died. And I get a
Whoa.
text message, Michael Jackson's dead. I'm like, that's impossible. And I look it up on the
It took a long time for it to be confirmed.
I looked
took
it up on the
hours.
internet. There was no news of it. I'm like, you're wrong. She's like, I saw him being moved into, and I'm like, no way.
Yeah.
And then 2 or 3 hours later, the first headline broke. News of Michael Jackson being rushed to hospital. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Another hour later, he's dead. I'm like, I cannot believe
Wow.
it. Yeah, it was nuts.
I was borderline obsessed with him as a child.
Yeah, every kid had a period of time.
I was.
I had a pin. I had a pin with just his face on it.
Sure, had several. I had the E.T. face pin too.
Oh, great.
Him and E.T.
Wow.
Yeah, apparently they were a couple
When I was a
for
kid,
while.
you just always heard about some parent surprised their kid by taking them to a Michael Jackson concert.
Yeah, I always hated that kid.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
like
fuck that kid.
because it was like one of those things where like tickets were $300
Yep.
in 1980, whatever.
Imagine
Totally right.
being 10 years old and being taken to a Michael Jackson. It would have been a memory that would live with you
Yeah,
forever.
but the rest of your life is downhill from there.
Probably.
Nothing in your
Those
marriage.
80s concerts must have been.
Maybe that's where
really
those
something.
adventure seeker type people come from. Those ones that are always like skydiving and rappelling off mountains. They're trying to like top the experience of seeing Michael Jackson when they were 10.
Exactly what they are. Yeah, totally. Yeah, those 80s concerts had to be crazy because here's the thing.
They were an event.
Every single person that was putting those concerts together had a coke problem back then.
Yes.
So it had to be just bigger.
Everything was bigger. There was pyrotechnics.
Yeah, man, what if we can get elephants in there?
Right.
How much are elephants? Look up elephants.
Every time
Right.
your eyes settled down from looking at a huge explosion, Michael Jackson was moonwalking. It
Yeah.
never
Or
calmed
just
down.
coming shooting out of the
Yeah.
ground.
in a jacket with so many more zippers than you were prepared to see with your eyes.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about, even movies, TV shows, everything in the 80s was directly affected by cocaine.
Yeah,
Right.
dude. Ghostbusters 2 was on at the store the other day. I watched like 15 minutes of it. It's fucking ridiculous.
It's insane.
Dude, the part where the baby gets stolen, the ghost is the special effects are so bad. The ghost that steals the baby just kind of floats laterally flat. It doesn't even look like it's flying.
Uh-huh.
It looks like it's on a people mover at the airport and just like going closer, closer, closer. Give me your baby, and then it leaves.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
the silliest shit you've ever seen. The dude with the accent, the little guy. Oh, the whole thing.
Yeah, the guy with the accent who's
steals-
just terrible.
yeah.
Like improv acting, like sketch comedy class
That
character.
script was
Right.
being written 2 seconds before they yelled action,
Oh,
and
I'm
everyone
sure it
was on blow.
Yeah, the minute that thing hit like 100 million, the other one, they're like writing it. They're like, oh yeah, we got to do another one of these.
I mean, back then sequels were like a joke. You did that was like the dumbest thing to do.
With the exception of like Star Wars ones.
Yeah.
Now those sequels are a joke. Back then, the original.
Well,
ones
now
were like,
everything is a sequel.
Uh-huh.
Or a prequel.
Or a remake.
Or a remake.
A remake.
Yeah.
I think they should remake Cannonball Run.
I never saw that.
That
Really?
would be good.
Yeah.
Because you can jam it full of stars.
Who's the
plot's-
who's the Burt Reynolds though?
Well, I'll tell you who they want it to be, Will Ferrell.
Yeah. I mean, it could be.
You know?
you need someone that kind of. But Will Ferrell pretends to be that ridiculous, whereas Burt Reynolds at that time believed it.
Right. See, I would like to cast that, not like super duper superstar-ish. I mean, you got to have
Well, the
a ton of them
original
in
was
there.
like that. All those
Yeah.
weird ass character actors.
Yeah, I can't believe you haven't seen that movie.
Is it great?
It's great.
I'll watch it.
It's so silly.
It's just stupid,
Right.
hilarious.
Oh, okay. Like
Jackie
intentionally, or
Gleason's in one of them.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a car race,
Yeah.
illegal car race across the country. And
Oh, cool.
Everybody that's in the race has a different angle of why. Like Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr. are dressed like priests,
yeah.
but they're gigantic alcoholics and they're always drunk and they have a Ferrari.
Oh wow, I did not know anything.
So if they get pulled over, they're two priests, but they're hammered the whole time.
yeah.
Dom DeLuise and Burt Reynolds have an ambulance and a crazy
Wait, this sounds great. I didn't
It's
know.
awesome,
I didn't know
bro.
anything about this movie.
and a crazy doctor that they've rented,
Yeah.
who's fucked up in case they get pulled over. They have a real doctor,
wow.
and
Yeah,
Farrah
how have they
Fawcett.
not remade
they
this?
capture Jackie Chan.
Is Jackie
It's
Chan in
his
it?
first movie. He's the Asian guy that karate kicks those guys and
Holy
splits his pants.
shit.
That's his first movie.
What year did that come out?
80s.
82 something maybe. I don't know. I'll look it up. Yeah, but it's
Wow.
and it's everybody that's in this race. So they'll meet up at certain checkpoints and bars
Yeah.
and get in fights and
Yeah.
they're
Oh, I
being
gotta
chased by the
watch it.
cops. The whole
They're
thing.
always like, just so many scenes of them at a gas station running toward their car to get back in the race.
Yeah. Other people will pull up, but the
I'll see if
end
it's
of
on
it,
Netflix.
there's the outtakes, which is a
Yeah.
classic thing. So it's scrolling, credits, and then there's a little, box.
Yeah, I mean, Norm Macdonald's Carson sketch where he's making fun of laughing too hard on Carson.
Yeah.
With Dom DeLuise, is sort of in reference to the Cannonball Run outtakes.
Yeah.
Because it's just Burt Reynolds and Dom DeLuise can't stop laughing at each
Yeah.
other. Dean
Right.
Martin can't hold it together.
Dean Martin.
Everyone
so it's
was
all
drunk.
the outtakes.
I
And
love those though.
the outtakes are just classic. And there was an episode of The State, which I loved. The State.
I
On
was
MTV.
just talking about the state yesterday.
I love The State.
Great
Sketch comedy show.
sketch
If your listeners have never seen it, watch The State. It's hilarious. One episode of The State, out of nowhere, at the very end, while it's rolling credits, they, down to costume, wardrobe, and everything, did all of the outtakes from Cannonball Run
Really?
perfectly.
Wow.
I mean, like
Yeah.
just memorized it. And they dress the same, and it's just the State credits rolling, and it looked just like it. It was hilarious. I was like,
was
what
so
a
good.
great idea.
yeah.
State was so good.
State was great.
It was
State
good.
was great. State was like
I want to rewatch that and Kids in the Hall.
Kids in the Hall is great too.
You know what else was great was Strangers with Candy. Remember that show?
Strangers with Candy for sure. That's
That was
with
so ahead
Amy
of its
Sedaris.
time.
Amy Sedaris, yeah.
There's a lot of jokes in
Stephen
that
Colbert's
show.
in that show.
There's a lot of jokes
Yeah.
in that show now where you're like, they could not get away with that.
Oh, I know.
There's so many gay jokes, fat jokes, black jokes, where
Every
you're
race.
just like, whoa.
I remember one time she had somebody, Amy Sedaris' character had captured, had a prisoner or something like this, or kidnapped somebody. And there's a knock at the door, and she goes, hang on, I think that's the spick with my chink food.
I know. There are so many lines like that.
And
But,
she opens the door, and it's a Mexican
it's
delivering her
within
Asian
the
food,
character
yeah.
is like a former drug addict,
Yeah.
fucking just ignorant, whatever. But you're just like, whoa. But
Yeah,
there's
that
so
one
many
I
of
was
those now
like,
where
whoa.
people, with how overly sensitive everyone is, they would just be like, it's offensive. But it's hilarious.
If you've never seen them, watch Amy Sedaris' Letterman appearances.
Oh yeah, those
Oh.
are good.
They're great.
Yeah, she is
that
so
whole
talented.
family's great.
By the way, her Instagram, one of my favorites.
Really?
I don't
It's
follow her.
so great. It's just weird shit she finds, and you can imagine what she finds weird is just better weird than other people
The
are
weirdest.
finding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, her Instagram is so good.
Yeah,
I wonder what
she's
their
great.
parents were like.
Well, read any David Sedaris book, and he'll get into full fucking detail. That guy's so great.
Me Talk Pretty one day. I've never laughed out loud as much while reading a book.
That's great. Holidays on Ice is really good.
Yeah.
We Are Engulfed in Flames is very
Dress
good.
Your Parents in Corduroy.
That's my sister's favorite author. She's met him like 4 or 5 times.
I saw him do a live reading at UCLA. Like
I think she has
10 years
every
ago.
one of his books signed.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's awesome, dude.
Yeah,
He's awesome.
Yeah. Have you come up with any more songs?
I'm
pretty impressed you got 2.
I got 2. Now again, like I said, I'm sure I'll be texting both of you tonight. Like, hang on, scratch that. I forgot about this.
Right.
You know, because you'll just hear that's what's going to happen is I'll hear songs.
Yeah, you'll put it on your headphones
from now
later.
on. Well, when are you guys going to do your big announcement of what yours are?
Maybe next week. The week out. We really need to do it. Someone tweeted at me the other day, like, when the hell is this episode
Only
going to
one
happen?
person asked for it. We don't need to.
So every episode you guys do, you talk about how you are going to do this other
No.
episode.
We've probably talked about doing it in 3 episodes and then haven't.
I've heard about it from a few people online and a few people in person. Where they're like, are you ever doing this? And I'm like, I know we have to.
I mean, 2 I have, but then you're like, shit. Every time you commit to one, it's worse because you have less open spots now.
I know.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, man, I only have 3. I'm really
And even thinking of a third one reminds you of another artist that's related to that artist. It's like when you add an artist to Spotify, they go, you might also enjoy, and then you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
These 6 people.
I mean, Radiohead, I probably...
Yeah, there's like 7 albums of theirs.
For
You gotta sift
sure,
through.
Ryan. I mean, even Black Crowes too. You know,
Yeah.
like a
It's
lot of my
like,
favorite
dude,
bands.
Like Black Sabbath.
I wouldn't put a Sabbath song. in there.
There's some
I
Sabbath
wouldn't.
songs I might put on.
I wouldn't. I don't think I'd have any hard rock or metal of any kind.
No? Nothing hard rock or metal?
I mean, there's the possibility of a Tool song might go in there, but
The
like
possibility of a Trail of Dead song might go in there.
But yeah, I don't. I mean, all the ones I would want to have on a Desert Island 5 would be like the lyrics are ultimately the most important part.
I mean, there's AC/DC songs I would consider.
There's Beastie Boys songs I would consider.
I don't think I would.
Highway
I mean-
to Hell to me, like
That's another one where
AC/DC,
I'm numb
yeah, you
to
could
it.
see.
Back in Black. I mean, fuck. Highway to Hell, Thunderstruck.
See, those like some songs can give you adrenaline dumps.
That's what I'm saying.
And I feel like I might need that on
I
an
need
island.
to cut down a tree. I'm trying to build
exactly.
a thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like some hype up music.
Yep.
Right.
You know, if you think about the island aspect, you're like, man, I'm gonna need,
Some calypso song.
something I can run to.
Yeah, far
Right.
off in the distance, I see a gorilla. And I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
I got to fight this gorilla. I put on Thunderstruck. I beat the gorilla in a hand-to-hand fight.
I mean, you would definitely need. You can't fight a gorilla with some like.
You can't fight gorilla to Wilco.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say Luther Vandross, but definitely not Wilco either.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
As I think about it, there's not many Wilco songs that would make me want to fight a gorilla.
You only just fight your regrets to Wilco.
That's true, which is why I love them so.
Right.
You know what I mean? And which is why I'm glad they have so many albums and so many songs. It's equal to the number of regrets.
Yeah, if you like Googled Wilco regret, there'd probably be like 7 songs with that word in
Right.
it. You know.
I mean, Britney Spears, I could just do 5 right there.
Right.
Toxic is a jam.
Which one was that?
Toxic.
Who knows?
Something. You're toxic. I'm something.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I know that song.
Toxic made me lock my keys in my car one time.
Why?
Someone called me. I had a job, and my friend of mine called me, and like as a joke was playing Toxic on.
Is that the
their
one with the weird
phone.
like "vroom" thing in the beginning?
Maybe.
Maybe it's. I think I
That
was
could be a
in
lot of her songs.
that music video.
Really,
Yeah.
dude? Then you should love that.
Were you
song.
really?
No, I grew to hate it because I had to listen to it for
Oh, yeah,
8
you
straight
had listened to it
hours.
70 times. But
Yeah.
it threw
That
off
is the bad part about doing
the
music.
person
Yeah.
calling me playing Toxic threw off my getting out of the car routine. So I left the key in the ignition. Locked the door.
Trying to look
Left it
up.
running?
No.
Oh,
I turned
just
it
in the
off.
ignition?
Didn't
Oh,
pull it
okay.
out.
Trying to look up what the video looks
My
like.
That's the bad thing about music videos, is then you get that song stuck in your head.
That was like her
all
comeback song or
day.
something?
No,
yeah, that was a
Toxic-
later song though.
It was later, but she hadn't started to.
The one with the paparazzi in the video?
Nah,
Oh, then that's
I think
not the one I
Toxic
was
was
on.
just like lots of green lights.
Oh yeah, this is a different one.
Yeah,
I was in the one maybe before.
I think
that.
about Britney Spears shaving her head once a week.
Why?
Because it just gets weirder and weirder to me as time goes on.
It's funny that you said that because when you were mentioning that, in my head was her bald head, crazy.
There's that
Britney
one picture
Spears.
of her hitting the paparazzi car with an umbrella.
Yeah.
Like, that was a legitimate public meltdown
Yeah.
that she had in front of the entire world, all in the span of like
A few of those happened. Remember when Martin Lawrence had his?
Yep.
He was
Yeah.
walking down the street with a gun and shit.
See, I find those less weird every single day.
But that's what I say when I go back to, I almost think if hers happened now, it would even be bigger. But like, it was so, like, the biggest pop star in the world just like went to a hair salon in Studio City and shaved her own head.
Yep.
While people photographed it. And there were rumors why, but no one necessarily knows. The rumor I heard was that Kevin Federline threatened to take their kids and said he was going to get her drug tested.
He was cheating on her.
And
all
hair
this shit.
drugs they can test your hair follicles or
That's
some
true.
shit. So she shaved her head. But then, like, she had a shaved head for a while, and then, like, her dad became the executor to her
She was also just crazy at the time. There was no way to really know what her reasoning for anything was. She had just lost her fucking mind
Yeah.
and was doing drugs and was just like... She just grew up in the spotlight.
All those
She
young
just-
kids are fucked up.
Yeah, she never
All
had a
those
regular
kids that
childhood.
are- I mean, what's her face? Miley Cyrus.
I mean, Michael Jackson, that's part of the reason he was the way he was.
Yeah. Britney Spears seems to have gotten back to normal.
River Phoenix.
I've heard that she'll never have control of her own estate again because she's still insane.
I think...
I read that the other day.
Okay. Isn't it? But it's her dad.
I mean, dude, who really knows the inner workings of
Yeah.
that family and why
she
they're doing
was
what they're
so
doing?
hot when she first came out. It
Oh,
was like,
dude.
God
Every kid in high school,
damn
we were
it.
just like, how do we...
That was wrong, what they did.
Yeah, it was wrong.
Which is, I'm going to short circuit every 16-year-old boy that there is
Yeah.
and make every girl want to be this person.
I mean, that shit was pretty scandalous that they were like, let's take this teenager. You know, and her parents were standing right there and they were like, hike up the skirt. And her parents were like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yep. Get those fun bags out.
Yeah.
Let's put her in
Right.
a schoolgirl outfit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
should we
let's have
do
you wearing-
pigtails? Yeah, let's do pigtails.
Pigtails, short skirt, midriff, and then shirt
Yeah, the
revealing
parents were
cleavage.
standing there the entire time with the thumbs up, like, go ahead, Mick G or whoever was shooting that fucking thing.
Yep. How much are we getting paid for this?
Knee-high socks? Sure.
Yeah,
we stand to make how many millions this year? Yeah, it's show the world
Show
our
her
daughter's underage tits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can you spread your ass cheeks open a little bit there?
Yeah, yeah,
I can see
yeah.
your butthole.
Make the lipstick shinier. No,
Right.
part them.
If I had a kid, I would do that in a heartbeat.
Just sell them out.
Absolutely. 7, 8, 9 years old. Yeah, sure. Go
As
stay with-
basically a sex
stay with
slave.
Jared.
A sexual and indentured servant.
Yeah.
If she's not singing the song, it's basically just the first 5 minutes of a pole dance before.
You got to
everything
think about
comes
too,
off.
like
Yeah.
when we were, at least when I was a teenager, she was popular when I was a teenager. So for me, there was no weird perverted thing at all because
Right.
Britney Spears and I are literally the same age, like 6 months apart.
Right.
I was old enough to feel.
But
weird.
you got to think when she was being marketed to America, she was being marketed not mostly to teenagers. She was being marketed to adults.
Yeah.
So you're basically peddling child porn
Yeah.
at a bunch of 30-year-olds
Sure.
who are happily watching it and then like jerking off to it later.
For sure.
That's the creepy part.
You can't. I don't think you cannot. You can't take that thing that record companies do with young women out of the equation of sexual assault in the country. I think you can't. I think it plays a part in the same way. Like, you know, they say video games can influence violent behavior. I think the same thing. That they've fetishized. The media has fetishized younger girls.
I don't think it influences it because either you either have it or you don't.
But
It makes you, I think, numb to the idea.
It makes it more normal to find teenage girls attractive. If it's on, like, if it's in regular TV and it's being shown to you in a very normal place, you're like, oh, it's okay to find a high school girl attractive even though I'm fucking 30. It's on my TV.
Well, I think that's any, like, as an animal, you find young, like, women that have, like, sexual features attractive, right?
See, I've noticed
So a
that-
16-year-old who looks 25 you're gonna find it attractive. But then when you hear, oh, that's a 16-year-old, you're gonna go, oh shit, I didn't know that.
See, I don't
All right.
remember when I remember Britney Spears. She didn't look 25. She just looked like a really overly made up teenager to me.
Yeah, she looked like she was like 19 or 20.
Yeah,
She didn't look like a 15-year-old.
I was old enough for her to look young to me. Like she looked, I was significantly older than her,
Right.
so I was like, that's a young kid.
Yeah.
Her and like Christina Aguilera were both like young to me.
I never find. It's a dumb statement, but you know, like people like Ari Shafir, a good friend of mine. He likes like 8-year-olds.
Yeah, he's like 57, I think, right now, Ari. And then he likes girls that are like, they just turned 18 yesterday.
You know who he argued with me is not hot because she is too old and she has turned the corner.
Who? Ariana Grande?
No, basically. No, who's the girl that's fucking so hot? She's like swimsuit model, huge tits.
Oh, Kate Upton?
Kate Upton is too old.
What
He also would probably say she's too fat.
I don't think that. I don't know if he said that. She's just too old and she's like past her prime.
That's insane.
I'm like, she's like 24.
22, yeah, 24 or whatever.
I don't know. She's under 25.
Selma Hayek is hotter than almost everyone right
Love
now.
her.
And
Yeah.
she's what, 47?
She's 50 almost?
So hot.
48?
Yeah, like
She's
Sarandon.
she's still perfect.
Susan Sarandon.
So hot.
Yeah, she's still pretty.
Yeah,
Kate Upton's too old.
dude, an 18-year-old looks like a. They look like a elementary school kid to me.
Isn't that crazy?
They look
They have no
gawky and weird.
features on their
Yeah.
face. There's
They
no
look,
like.
They don't look like they don't look
people.
like they know words. Like when I see teenagers, I'm just like, what? They don't look attractive to me at all. I'm actually really glad.
Yeah.
I'm not attracted to teenagers at all.
Yeah, there's
not
nothing.
in the least bit. But there is a part of me and that's what I was getting ready to say. There's a part of me that's like, the part of me that was 16.
Yeah.
Like I can see like an attractive 16-year-old girl.
Right.
And I'm not physically attracted to her. I'm not like, oh, I'd love to fuck her or whatever.
You wish she went
But
to your school when you were 16.
There's a part of me that is that.
Okay.
Right.
There's a part of me that's like, man, if I was 16, I'd have a total crush on that chick.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But that's what I mean. Like, that's what Hollywood's good at doing, is taking like a teenager that is too young and then like dressing them up and putting them in the right lighting and then making them look like they're of age and sexualizing the shit out of them. And then you're just like, dude, I want to fuck her. And then they're like, yeah, the 16-year-old pops that shit. You're like, wait, what age?
I know.
You know. But then the people who don't care anyway and be like, I'd still fuck her. Those people, their minds already think that way.
I thought Kylie Jenner was like 20.
Yeah, she's another one that looks
because of
older.
the way she appears in the media, and like I saw an article about like the dude she's dating is older. She just turned 18, or she was 17, and he's I don't know how old, like 22 or something, 23.
Right.
And so there was like controversy about them, whatever.
Jesus.
And I was like, well, why? And I looked up, I was like, she's 17.
That's not even uncommon either. There's so
She's
many
hot.
underage pop stars that are dating guys that are like 21, 2 or 3, and you're like, there's no way they're not fucking, and it's illegal if anyone else did that.
Yeah, but they're famous, so fuck it.
But when they're famous, certain laws don't apply.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like Cosby.
You can date underage people, you can rape people, you can kill people,
Kill
you can
people,
steal.
Uh-huh.
You can just break
Shoplift.
laws. You can break laws when you're
You
famous.
see these like super rich people shoplifting all the time. You're like, why did you
Yeah.
steal a $70 bracelet?
Yep.
Like, what's wrong with you? It's like,
Because they go,
I'm not
well,
paying
I'm
$70 for a
I'm
bracelet.
famous.
This is
I'll
mine.
do whatever I want.
yeah,
Yeah.
of course I can afford it, but I don't have to. I'm famous.
If I was Bill Gates, I'd steal all the time. Just
It'd be funny
because,
if he
like,
did.
I would just fucking, and I don't think anyone would even do anything. They'd be like, "Oh, we'll just call and say Bill Gates stole something, and they'll pay it."
I mean, you get to a point of super wealth where you have to go like, yes, okay, you should be giving half of your money away.
Right.
Because half of your money is still...
He does, though.
Billion. I know.
Yeah.
I know. But I mean, it's still billions. Half of your
Right.
money is billions. You don't even know that it's gone.
Yeah.
You know, you
could have an accountant that's skimming off the top. You would never know.
They asked he was doing an interview, and someone like the interviewer was like, "How much money do you have in your wallet?" And he was like, "I don't have a wallet."
Yeah,
Why doesn't he even have an ID?
Yeah, why?
I'm just...
What?
Or a cell phone.
I've beat it.
yeah.
He's just like how they beat comedy. He's like,
Yeah,
I
he
beat...
Eddie Murphy'd money.
Yeah.
Like I don't. He probably doesn't think about money. He's like I don't think.
I beat wallet. He beat wallets.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bill Gates
beat wallets.
beat wallets.
I need wallets, man. I'm playing a whole different game.
Yeah,
here.
you wonder the last time he thought about what something cost.
It's just not a thing
Yeah.
that come. There's no way he even looks at that part of the menu.
No,
That's
you don't
just
even-
not that's someone else's job.
Yeah, you know that story about
Rogan and the milk.
yeah, that's
yeah.
like, but that really does like.
It's great.
It capsizes.
He didn't know what milk cost. Or
No, no, no. They, I think it was Ari. It might have been Ari.
It was Ari.
It was
yeah.
Ari. So Ari's on the road with Joe Rogan, and they're in an airport. And this is like a while ago. This is like Fear Factor, UFC money, but you know he's done quite well even since then. And they're in an airport, and they're walking, and Ari goes, "Damn, fuck, I forgot toothpaste." And Rogan's like, "So what, dude? Just buy toothpaste. How much is toothpaste? Like $10?"
No concept.
And Ari's like, "Ha ha, you're rich."
No, I think he goes, "What are you kidding?" And he goes, "I don't know, what, more or less?" Like I have no
Yeah,
idea.
I
Like, he
have
had
no
no
idea.
clue.
Yeah,
That was one of those- in the when the first George Bush ran for office. They busted him like what milk cost. He was like, I don't know,
Yeah.
$8. They're like, no, it's fucking $2.50.
$8.
Just like didn't know at all.
You just have no clue.
Yeah,
When
that's
you
the
just
one-
get so used to a way of life.
I remember during a campaign stop, some guy went up to Mitt Romney and goes, "You're a rich guy. Give me $1." Mitt Romney was like, "All right, I'll give you $1." And he opened his wallet, and there was literally only hundreds. He had like $2,000 in his wallet and hundreds
Of just
And he was just like,
hundreds.
I got. And he realized that this was going to look real bad. He was like, "Well, okay, can you just these brand new hundreds?"
Yeah.
Wow.
Crisp.
Well, Court McCown, he's good buddies with the Ursays, and Jim Irsay owns the Indianapolis Colts.
Right, yeah.
And they're very wealthy. I mean, you buy a
Yeah.
team like that, that's like, it's not a $20 million transaction.
Yeah, it's safe to say if you own any sports team, you have
He's
a lot
got
of
a
money.
guy whose job is to just kind of like be his assistant or whatever, but he just goes everywhere with him, and he has a bag full of money that he's just the tipper guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Where he's like, give this
I was
here.
watching a football
that's for them,
game.
that's for them, and he passes out like $5,000 a day.
Yeah.
Of just passing out money to people, door guys, and everything.
That's
$5,000 a day.
So crazy.
You're just giving $5,000 away today, every day.
I mean, I once watched a football game at Steve Tish's house. Steve Tish is part of minority owner of the Giants.
Uh-huh.
And he was kind of joking, but someone was like, "Oh, I got to leave in a little bit. I got to go to LAX." And Tish goes, "Where is LAX?" Because he'd never flown he'd never not flown private in his entire life.
Wow.
But where does he fly out of private? That's not
Van
an
Nuys.
airport.
You don't fly. The private jets don't really normally fly out of airports because they're not.
Yeah, they fly to Burbank. They fly to
I think
LAX.
they fly to Burbank or Van Nuys. Because you don't.
And I've seen him at LAX.
I've never seen one take off though.
What, like G6s or whatever those
Yeah, you
things?
see him
Yeah.
in certain parts of the airport, just kind of like
Oprah has
off to
a
the side.
landing strip in her fucking up in
Like
Santa
Travolta.
Barbara.
That's pretty
Does
cool.
she have a landing strip up there?
Yep.
I think Travolta has one in Florida. And
He had-
his
yeah, he had,
house.
like, a
so you can
full
just
runway.
land in his own home and just
You
get
get a
out.
driveway
Yeah,
for
yeah.
a plane and you're at your house.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
crazy.
I'm sure they don't worry about scooting their house fucking 200
know.
yards one way or the other.
I know.
They got all the scoots they need.
There must be some sort. I bet you there's weird things that happen to a house from having it on your runway.
from having a plane.
Yeah, the molding came off because we landed. Yeah, every time we land, the molding shakes loose. We got to have a guy
There's,
come
like,
out.
cracks
jet
in the ceiling.
fuel fucking
Yeah, there's like
spewing
one
all
side
over
of the
your
house is kind of black from the jet fuel exhaust.
right.
Why did your roses die? Just jet fuel.
Yeah, we
It's
landed.
fucking jet fuel.
Got to replant. He's like, guys, it's not the landing in the plane that costs a lot of money. It's the replanting all those roses that's killing me.
Yeah.
You're like constantly mad at your kids. You're like, every time you take the jet, you leave me with no gas.
Dad, can I borrow the jet tonight?
know.
I'm taking
Gotta
this girl
fucking
out.
Clean the driveway
Can you
because it
imagine?
leaves all these damn tire marks. They look like shit.
I know. Could you imagine?
You are grounded for
It's
1
not
week.
the fuel. It's them
no
damn
jet
peanuts.
flying.
Yeah.
Keeping that fucking that plain stock with peanuts is keeping me out of house and home.
right.
I got to do another Look Who's Talking. This is fucking bullshit.
I gotta look who's talking. Look who's talking too. Electric Boogaloo.
By the way, those Look Who's Talking movies are pretty good.
It's been so long since I've
You
seen
got
it.
the Goot.
I
You
think I
got
saw
Tom
the
Selleck. And you got fucking
first one when I was a kid. And then
Selleck
that's it.
and who's the third?
Gutenberg.
Oh, God, I'm talking about a guy that just fell off.
I
Fell
know.
off. He was so huge.
Yeah.
All the Police Academy.
9 Police
dude.
Academy movies.
He had a run. Cocoon.
Cocoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever happened to that
All those
dude?
Police Academy movies. I think he was in Sharknado.
Maybe.
Or
think
one
he's
of the
still
3
totally
Sharknados.
loaded. He was
Probably.
smart with his money and is loaded still.
You would hope.
Yeah. But yeah, he had a real run.
Like
That
he
one
was in
police-
every movie in the 80s.
Yeah. Those Police Academy runs, I think, probably paid him a mountain. Because he really was the star, and those movies were big. The third one with the skateboarders in it blew my mind.
Yep.
Whole Bones Brigade was a
How
stuff.
many of those were there? There were quite a few.
There was
There were like
at least
27.
4.
27.
I think there were like 3
The
or 4
one just
that
came
he
out
was
last
part
year.
of.
They're just still pumping them out
Right.
every year. You don't even notice.
Yeah.
Like how there's shows on like Lifetime that are like in its 9th season. You're like, what? Like original programming on
Yeah,
cable
they make
networks.
a Home Alone like every year for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, they every now and then you see, or they'll like. Now the thing is like shitty movies, okay, sequels shitty, next sequel's so shitty that the actual original people aren't even in it,
Right.
and then TV series about it.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
Well,
like
Lifetime
Scream.
now is doing like these unauthorized biographies about bad TV. They're doing an unauthorized biography about it's coming out about Full House.
Yeah, I saw a still of it today, and it's just like people that vaguely look like John
Yeah.
Stamos and with like bad
Oh.
wigs, and you're just like, this looks.
They did
uncomfortable.
Saved by the Bell, one of those.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
It's so weird.
Working at Lifetime would be weird.
At least they're not doing like the same old like.
Meredith Baxter Burney.
Yeah. I survived stories.
Yeah, working there would be weird, but the bar is set so low.
Yeah. But
You know,
still
it's
gotta
not like
get it
work
done.
where you're working at HBO where you're like trying to win fucking
Yeah,
awards.
Emmys and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're at Lifetime, you're like,
You're just like, let's just
do
get
a-
paid this month. Let's
let's do a
crank out a
fucking- yeah,
unauthorized biography
Dude,
of
it
fucking
must be-
perfect strangers or whatever.
That would sound, by the way, great.
would
perfect
be
stranger.
cool.
Yeah. Alf.
Yeah.
I loved Perfect Strangers.
yeah, Balky.
Balky,
Great
yeah.
character.
Great character.
Dude, the theme song was so good.
Uh-huh.
Larry Appleton.
Was-
Fucking loved that show.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of great sitcoms back then.
I went on a fucking YouTube like spiral of like TV show theme songs from like I was like, how did the Perfect Strangers one go? And then I listened to that, and then I listened to the Full House one, and I listened to like
sure.
like 10 or
I love-
Step by Step, like
I
all
love,
those TGIF shows.
The Family Matters one.
Yeah, that one too.
I still know it.
But they're really well made, catchy 20-second or 30, 40-second songs that just describe exactly what you're about to watch.
Dude,
I believe-
that's a real job.
I believe
Yeah.
Alan Thicke wrote the Growing Pains theme.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
You get paid good residuals for that shit.
Yeah,
I mean,
those guys
some
that
of
come
those-
up with those.
Would
If
be
you
like
do-
popular on the radio, like the Cheers. You would hear the Cheers theme song on the
Yeah,
radio
Cheers is
during
great.
those days.
Yeah.
Family Ties?
Yeah.
Yep.
There's so many good ones out there.
That'd be a
Especially-
funny band, like a cover band.
Bosom Buddies, the Billy Joel song.
Yeah.
Great.
Right.
A cover band that just does
That's
TV.
all you do is TV
That
show
already
theme
exists.
songs.
I guarantee it.
Guarantee it does.
Too
Yeah,
good not
maybe.
to.
Too good not to.
If you just slipped in the occasional theme song into a set, people would love love that band so.
Oh, yeah.
Like we do covers, you're doing like normal songs, and all of a sudden people would be like, "What is that? Oh, these motherfuckers learned the you
Yeah.
geniuses."
Uh-huh.
And then fuck with it a little, like the punk rock version of
Sure.
the Cheers theme song.
Friends theme song.
Yeah.
Friends.
Although the Friends one is an actual song by a band.
If you'd have to change it a little to make it fun.
Yeah.
What
was it a song first?
Yeah.
It's a song by a
Okay.
band called the Rembrandts.
Yep.
And it's a full-length song.
Were the
and they play
Rembrandts
it-
the band that did that Breakfast at Tiffany's song?
I don't think
Or was that-
so. That was,
It's Blue something. Their name was like
I don't remember.
Deep Blue something.
I
Deep-
do not remember.
Deep Blue Purple.
No, they were called there's something as a part of it. I think they were called Deep Blue something.
Who sang Breakfast at Tiffany's?
Good movie. by the way.
Moon River?
Blue River.
Moon River? Academy of- No, that's way older. Who the fuck did sing that song?
Did you skateboard as a young man?
You know what? No.
Is
I
that because of the
tried-
weather in Chicago?
Well, yeah, I think that's a huge factor of it. It's like, there's only really
You got like
5 months where you actually could skateboard.
And the roads are such a disaster.
Yeah,
from
but I
the
mean,
weather.
there's still like a lot of skaters and all that kind of stuff. I mean, there's skate parks and shit like that. But I think that is a huge factor where it's like here people are skating year round.
Yeah.
I mean, I tried skateboarding, especially when like Back to the Future came out.
Oh yeah.
And then every kid all of a sudden had a skateboard.
Yeah.
At least, in the Midwest where I was growing up, everybody wanted to fucking
My
skateboard.
friend Edward Barrios had that same skateboard that is like a black and purple board, said Valterra on it.
Uh-huh.
My friend Edward had that board.
Wow.
Which that was like a cheesy department store board. That wasn't like a cool one.
That's all that there was to be found in
Yeah.
the Midwest in the 80s.
Yeah.
Because that skate culture hadn't really, crossed the Mississippi yet.
That is the heart. That's where most of my nostalgia lives right now. It's because it's so easy to buy that stuff again.
Deep
All
Blue
the-
something?
Yeah, I think that's the band.
That's the band, yeah.
Yeah, Deep Blue something.
American rock band who are best known for their 95 hit single, Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Pretty terrible song.
It was like kind of catchy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was one of those where you're like, yeah, and then like 7 times later, you're like, this is an annoying song now.
Yeah, you heard it.
Yeah.
I
Very
just
annoying.
was like, this is okay, but then you thought, like, God, why? Imagine writing this song. Like, who pitched it to the rest of the band?
That's like one of those songs that, like, if you work at like a restaurant, that
Oh.
sometimes
Oh,
you'll
yeah.
hear the same 12 songs every day, every
Yeah.
shift.
Yeah.
That's one of the ones that's on
Like
there.
when people go, why do you know all the lyrics to Semisonic's Closing Time? Where you're like, oh, well, I worked at a chain restaurant for 7 months,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
I heard it 9
For
times
sure.
a day.
Right. Ugh. Where it's like, if you have friends that work in that restaurant or bar or whatever the fuck, and then you go see them at work or you're in their work environment, and that song, whatever song it is,
Yeah.
comes on, you're like, oh, I love this song. No, you don't. You wouldn't love it if
Not
you
on the
heard. I've heard. This is the
287th
9th time I've heard that song.
Yeah,
That's-
shift.
This shift.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
fucking hate
problem
this song.
with the Desert Island 5. It's like, what are you going to fucking not get sick of?
Yep.
You'd have to go days without listening to any of your songs to
Oh,
make
yeah,
them.
easily. You'd have to go even just like, I'm going to listen to one song every 4 days for a year.
Yeah.
Just to like not get tired of it right. Because you have the rest of your fucking life.
Fuck.
You kind of hope you die for some reason.
I mean, it really is.
That's another good question. What's the last song you want to hear before you die?
Happy birthday.
That's even harder than the top 5. Like you're you're getting executed. You're on
Duh.
death row.
Happy
Closing time.
birthday to you.
You get your last meal and then your last song.
Fuck.
I didn't even have a hard time with last meal.
Last meal's tough.
Last meal is tough.
Yeah, you automatically want to go.
I'd want a lot of things.
Yeah, steak with a couple sides. That's what you first would think, but then you're like, why not? I'll kill an extra large pizza.
Yep.
Yeah.
That would be fucking
Pizza's
great.
hard to not put on there.
Yeah,
Pizza's really not hard to not put on there.
I mean, it's the things that you got to think in terms of the foods you kind of never say no to when they're on the table, like French fries.
yeah.
It's like I'm
Yeah.
gonna want ice cream,
But for last meal, you would
I
get
mean,
like
even a giant, like, you could kill 2 birds with one stone with, like, a giant breakfast, but, like, steak and eggs so you can work a good steak in there.
right,
right, right.
Smart. Pancakes,
Pancakes,
Yeah.
tater tots.
like a legit grand slam.
Like, yes.
dude, I want to go
A
to House
super
of Pies
legit
right now.
grand slam.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then for the last meal, though, you would get like appetizer, main course, dessert, like a whole.
Have you ever
meal.
seen those things where they're like, you always see them on Facebook and shit, like, here's all these famous executions, what their last meals were.
No, I would like to
Yeah,
see that.
there's,
I got to look that up.
You can look it up. It's pretty easy to find.
Someone was just talking to me about.
But it has
those.
pictures of all of it, and a lot of them are really weird.
Really?
But a lot of them, you're like, damn, you can order all that. Like, some of them is like,
Someone was just telling me about this, and they said in one of them, one of the guys put at the bottom like, "You better get this fucking right. I'm getting electrocuted, goddamn."
Wow.
Yeah, like don't
Yeah, I
fuck
guess
this up.
a lot of weird shit's got to come out of that because you start thinking deep into your like, what did I like when I was a kid, or what's a weird thing I haven't been able to afford in a long time.
You could kind of go just like Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, a full-on
Thanksgiving
Thanksgiving
dinner.
dinner.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Yeah,
that would be good.
done right. You're like, I want a full Thanksgiving meal, and then put the gun. The electrocution thing. They should shoot people in the back of the head.
But you don't always die.
if you have someone do a shotgun at your brainstem, you're dead.
You
as
don't
fuck.
always die. Some people fucking weirdly live through that shit.
Yeah, they live through the fucking lethal injection sometimes.
But the whole reason lethal injection started is because it was like the most accurate and least painful way.
Now they're realizing it's sort of painful.
Yeah, some people don't die right away.
Dude, I think there was a guy who didn't die, and he was like, it hurt. He's like, my insides were on fire.
Well, because like they put you to sleep first, then they like kill your muscles and then your nervous system or something like that. But some people it doesn't take. So like they seem like they're unconscious, but they're not.
I think it was like a real big dude. Like, guy weighed too much. They
Yeah.
didn't take. They just hurt him really bad. So they had to do it like twice.
Yeah.
What a nightmare.
There's a guy
No
they
shit.
tried to electrocute where they had to hit him twice. It just like goes blah. He wasn't
Yeah.
dead. He was just like. Ah.
It's just
They're like,
hilarious how
shit.
they keep trying to find where you're like the most humane way would be just be not having the death penalty.
Or beheading,
Yeah.
guillotine.
Yeah, they should do something like that, like crazier,
It's
and just never have to do it because it's such a deterrent.
If it
it's
was
like you're going to get
guillotine, yeah.
fucked to death.
Yeah.
Like whatever
Right.
your biggest fear is, that's how they should execute you.
Yeah.
Right.
You know
When
what I
they
mean?
do
'Cause
the
then
when
you're
they do the
like, oh, wow.
psychological evaluation to figure out if you're sane, the shrink goes, you know what this dude's really afraid of? Spiders.
Yep. And you're like, okay, cool.
And throwing you in like a tub full of spiders.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that would be the worst.
That would be
Spider death would be rough.
That would be
Oh.
crazy.
I can't even fucking. When I was a kid,
That's a society I would not want to live in.
spiders.
No, that did that to people.
Yeah.
I was like, "What's your biggest fear?" That's how we're killing you. It's like, yikes.
yeah.
Especially our modern day society. If we started doing that, it would take 2 years before that was a TV show.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it does sound like a Dark Mirror or Black Mirror.
Black Mirror
one of
type
those things.
scenario. Yeah,
That is what
we would
that
turn that into a TV show in no
Totally.
time.
I mean, it'd be a big deterrent if my biggest thing, if I'm a gigantic homophobe, and if I find out I'm going to get fucked to death. If I'm a racist and a homophobe, and then I find out, okay, if you commit
Yeah.
any crime worthy of death penalty,
A football
you
team,
are going
yeah.
to get fucked to death by a bunch of black guys,
Right.
in your ass, and they're going to come in your mouth a lot, so much so it kills you.
Right.
I'd be
You're
like,
not allowed
whoa,
to drink
I better.
water, so you dehydrate to death.
But the death penalty doesn't even prevent people from still doing it. Because when you're crazy, you don't care.
Sure.
You either think, I'm not going to get caught, I'm too
But the
smart
thing is,
to
we
get
don't know
caught.
how. There's probably been times where people didn't do something because they're like, man, I can get the death penalty for this.
It seemed like that 3 strikes thing worked for a minute, where dudes were like, "This, dude, I got 2 strikes."
Yeah, that you did hear a lot of that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it was like when they did do something, and they were like, it made them more violent. They would more likely to try to run and like attack the cops. They were like, "It's my 3rd strike."
And it was
anyways.
also too broad where like anything, like there were things that were count as strikes that were like, what? Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
stole like something that
failure
was
to appear in
$2.
court
Yeah. And then
for
you're serving 25 years of
parking
life
ticket,
or
yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
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 Well, I'm proud of you that you got 2.
I got 2. I will get back to you. I
Yeah.
will. I will come up with my 5. I will take
Okay.
this seriously. And those 2 may change. I don't think they will.
We
but
should
they-
ambush more
wouldn't-
people.
With the, I mean, yeah,
None of our friends listen to our podcast. No one will know this happened.
that's true. That's true.
of the people you could ambush, yeah, that's probably true. I can't believe you haven't
Yeah.
seen Cannonball Run.
No. We also don't even have a lot of guests on.
Yeah.
So the ones we do, we can just like.
I think David Taylor would be a good ambush for this one.
I asked him that a couple months ago, and he was able to come up with like 3 or 4 right away.
Really?
But then after 4, I think he had trouble with the 5th. And then once he started thinking of a bunch of different ones for 5, then he was like, maybe I want to remove 4 and put that one at 4.
Yeah.
So no matter who you are, you either get 1 or 3 right away, and then it just all falls apart once you start thinking of all the music.
Yeah, because
you've
you
ever
get so
liked.
nervous because you're running out. You only have 2
Yeah.
songs left out of every song ever made.
I know
You're
that
like-
you've ever liked
Uh-huh.
from anywhere from like a little to a lot.
Totally.
It's fucking hard. It's hard. But yeah, we got to do our. I just got to sit down and be like, I got to come up with 2 more,
Yeah.
and just be like, it's a fictional scenario anyway, and it's only for this specific thing. It's not the top 5 ever, and then we just got to do it.
Yeah, because I feel like for each song, because there's 5, there almost needs an explanation for each song.
Oh yeah,
like
totally.
you can't go, oh, this song, this song, this song.
Yeah, we have to give our reasons and
right.
Yeah,
Totally.
yeah.
You have to be like, here's why I chose this song, even though it sounds like I wouldn't have picked this song.
I know, and I'm definitely going to have at least one of those. Where people are going to go,
some songs
really?
just put you in a good mood because they remind you of certain things.
Yeah.
If you're going to be on a desert island, fucked, you're going to want to like have these,
That's why I'm like still considering my number 4 or 5 to be like a 90s one-hit wonder. That just like was always fun, always catchy, reminds me of childhood, puts you in a good mood. I'm like, maybe I would want that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's still floating around in there.
Yep.
I don't know, it sucks. All right, we're at like an hour 40, I think. Hour 37.
Well,
Thanks for doing this.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'll get back to you on my answers.
Yeah,
That's a fucking motherfucker of one.
it really is. It really fucking is.
I mean, there's really no right answer.
nope.
All right, we did it. Jayson Thibault, you're back. How long have you been back now?
A month?
A month. It's like you never fucking left.
Yeah, a little over a month. 5 weeks.
Isn't it funny? It's like you were never gone.
Yeah, I know. And there's not much, not a whole hell of a lot has changed.
Yeah.
That back bar at the Comedy Store was new.
Yeah, that's new, but it's like it's fucking no one even uses it.
No.
I love it. They
You
made
know
it
who uses it? One person. Joe Rogan.
right. Yeah, they
He'll
made it a
sit in
paid
it.
regular lounge, and we're like, oh, sweet. And then every time I walk in there's like 2 or 3 people where I'm like, you're the reason we would want to come back here to get away from you.
Right.
And then they're just hanging out in there.
Because the problem is the person in charge of policing that rule is the bartender. He's going to be a dick.
Yeah, they need to have someone to be a dick.
Yeah. They need
Yeah,
to-
and he's being a dick. He's not going to be a dick to the only person buying booze from him as well.
Right.
You know what I mean? That
Yeah,
one.
you want to be in there to get away from the fucking like annoying people.
Yeah.
And then they're like the ones hanging out in there. I don't know. All right. Well, thanks for doing this, buddy.
Thanks for having me, guys. I love both of you very much.
And we love you too.
Yep.